Neo's got the mic, he's taking charge. Carl's geeking out, his knowledge large. Ryan's dropping facts like a game pro. On Party Chat, we'll steal the show. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Favorite games of all time, pixelated worlds and icy climes, controllers and joysticks we adore. Level up with us, there's so much more. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Well, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. It is time for another episode of Party Chat. My co-host Ryan here. What's up, Ryan? How you doing tonight?
Not a whole lot, just kind of just kidding. Just gonna give you a hard time right now. No, man, it's good. I've been playing some games, like you've seen it. Like
Yeah.
you popped in the chat 2 days ago, and I thought you were gonna have an aneurysm.
Yes, you were playing some good stuff. We'll get to that in just a moment. But good to have you back to talk some video game topics with our returning guest, it's been a while. It was last on episode 10, so a really long time ago. We got Cherrick Seeks joining us again for our guest spot tonight. What's up, Cherrick? How you doing?
I was headbanging to your intro. That was rocking, man.
Yes, I love it. Shout out to Nerd Slap. He's done a couple of intros and he does great work. So the link to his channel should be in the stream description if you want to go give him a follow or connect with him and maybe work something out with him. But yes, basically all the intros that I have gets me pumped before stream time. So
I'm just a huge fan of it
because
quite frankly, you put my head on Captain America and it just works because it
works
how I do
quite well. Given how much of a fan you are of Captain America, is like, hey, make sure that Ryan is Captain America somewhere in the intro.
Just slightly. I mean, just a little bit.
So, well, good to have you both here for Party Chat tonight. We got Ariana Floyd is in chat as usual. Good evening, Ariana. Says, boys, the girl Ariana Floyd is here. Always good to see you showing up as usual. So, so before we get into our topics, I'd like to go around the horn here and talk to everyone about what they've been playing lately. Ryan, since you alluded to it, you're playing. I'm assuming you're planning on doing the whole series.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. So you are on stream right now. You are playing my favorite franchise of all time. So for anyone who doesn't know, what is it that you're playing right now?
I am playing Mass Effect. I don't know what the freak happened to my gaming computer. Because Neo, I alluded to this like what was it 3 months ago or something like that everything like fell apart. I can't remember. Anyway, my gaming computer was on. I mean, the fans are running on. It's such a high rate.
Oh yeah, I do remember mentioning that.
Yeah, I thought the thing was going to melt down, and also my streaming computer was on. It was running at not as high a rate with the fans blowing like it was a tornado. But so within my actual gaming computer, not the one that I use to stream because I use two separate rigs. I just pair them. So it melted half the hard drive.
Jeez.
It did something to half the hard drive. I don't know what it did, but like one of the set of chips, like it melted that. And then, of course, I got it back and they said, okay, it should be working. And then I started installing things and it started crashing again. I was like, I don't understand what's going on now. Then I found out half the RAM was bad too. So whatever Windows update that put it into tornado mode. Anyway, long story short, I was talking to you like, what, the last time we did this? before I got the computer back. I was like, I can't play the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on Steam. Guess what? Works now. I'm 20 hours into Mass Effect 1, and I've been having a blast too, because I mean the game looks beautiful. It runs very, very well. I've only had 2 hiccups. After I talk to Ashley and then I go to the lockers to upgrade everybody, I've had it stop. It froze for a minute, but it goes back to the main screen and I can reload it. That's very minor for a Steam problem. So anyway, having a blast. Love Mass Effect, and again, I'm gonna be continue streaming that. And yeah, I'm gonna go through 2 and 3, and I'm gonna truck all the way to the end. So having fun.
Excellent. So yeah, you're playing the Steam version, the Legendary Edition. So I caught most of your stream on Sunday.
Yes.
I didn't have a whole lot going on this weekend, which is unusual, which is why I had to move Party Chat from Saturdays to the weekdays, because weekends I'm usually busy like 98% of the time. But so you did more. I think I saw you live yesterday and today. Is that right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been
some good time in. So
yeah, I'm on leave from work right now. So I mean, I'm hard charging.
All right. So how far? You said you're about 20 hours in. Where are you in the game right now?
So basically, I'm doing a lot of the side missions. I got through the Thorian.
Okay.
So I got past that. Yep, I got past that mission. I have not done Vermeer yet. I know that leading into that.
Okay.
I don't know my actual level. I just know that right now my build is, I just maxed out charm, because I play mostly Paragon. My intimidation is maxed out, which is only like 50% of what my charm is. And my Paragon, I think on the meter itself, if I had to guess a number, probably somewhere of the neighborhood of maybe 78% maxed out on Paragon. So, but I have enough for the one thing on Vermeer, but I would prefer to find another little relic to help.
Yes.
It's just me. I like to do they don't make the side missions for your companions as predominantly known. So, but I just the MSVs, the one that had the husks on them. Remember the one that kind of got lost in space in the veil? I'd have to pull it up. I'd have to pull the game up. But anyway, yeah. So there's a bunch of side quests that just kind of kill time. So
there are a lot. So all right. So you're a charming Paragon infiltrator.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. The reason I like infiltrators is because I like sniper rifles. I like pointing something at somebody's face from a long distance and blowing their face off.
Yeah,
but
that's my least favorite class, but
really?
I know it's very popular. My favorite class is Vanguard.
See, I heard about Vanguard.
Vanguard wasn't that great in the first one, but got better in 2, and in 3 it's the best one. The 3 games, Vanguard is best in 3 for sure.
I heard that Vanguard actually got a little bit rebooted in the Legendary Edition, so it became a little OP in the first game.
Okay. Well,
at least you know who Rev is?
Rev? Like the YouTuber?
Yeah, you probably he's a YouTuber. You'd recognize his
I think so.
It's a little Doge looking dog, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, I've heard the name. I don't think I've ever seen anything.
Anyway, yeah, he told me, he's like, yeah, Vanguard got upgraded for the Legendary Edition. Ooh. They kind of like applied certain things from the rest of the trilogy. They updated a lot of things for the first game because, I mean, she's older. She's from 2007, so
yeah,
I think at least the hacking is much better than that stupid.
The first one definitely needed the most work.
Yeah,
because 2 and 3 are very similar. I think 2 and 3 might be on the same engine, but I don't think 1 is a different engine than 2 and 3 because they feel very different.
Yeah, no, I think 2 and 3 is on the same engine because 1 is a very different feel. I almost actually, when I switched to 2, I didn't like it. And then I switched to 2 and I got used to it and I was like, no, this feels more comfortable. So then I've actually played 1 more than once back on, the PlayStation 3 because I had that 3-pack that came out that a lot of people. It was like the anniversary edition or something like that.
I didn't know that even existed until one of our episodes of Party Chat. We
Yeah,
were talking
yeah,
about like
no.
remakes and remasters not that long ago. But
Yeah, going back, one felt clunky. I think that anyway, the Legendary Edition cleaned up some things. So
that's
anyway, we're gonna stop talking about Mass Effect, or at least I
that
will.
makes me excited because that's actually a perfect, not necessarily a segue, but Cherik. So we recorded something on Sunday afternoon. He'll be putting it out on his channel sometime in the near future. And he asked me a question that I didn't have an answer for, and afterwards I was thinking about it after we got done, and I was like, oh, I slapped myself because that would have been my answer. I have not played Mass Effect Legendary Edition yet, and I'm planning to do it before the end of the year, and I'm very much looking forward to it because, like I said, Mass Effect's my favorite franchise ever. I haven't actually beaten any of the campaigns in quite a long time, so I'm very much looking forward to playing through the whole series again. And I will be getting 100% of the achievements, but the achievements in the Legendary Edition are nowhere near as difficult as the original versions that were released on 360. So it won't be like it as an impressive of a completion, but that's one that I'm very much looking forward to playing for achievements in the near future.
I know the
Nice.
combat felt a little unbalanced because I was playing on a higher level, and so I was actually. Oh, what's the mission where you're fighting the Geth, and you have to go find Liara, and they drop that Artemis or whatever.
The armature.
The armature, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't know.
And you have to fight it on foot without the Mako, right?
Yeah, you got to fight it on foot, all the Geth and stuff like that. I had a higher level. I was getting nuked in like 30 seconds flat. Like, I mean, they would kill Garrus. Garrus was I don't know what he was doing, like he was standing in the road and he was just like dead all of a sudden laying in the road. And I'm like, Ashley and I are the only ones running around. So like I would run somewhere and then she would follow me. I'm like, no. Stop following me. Split up. Divide and conquer. Like, woman, what are you doing?
I remember when playing that part on Insanity on the original 360 version, and that part was quite difficult.
Yeah. So anyway, I dropped the difficulty, and I actually managed to beat it because again, I'm not looking to work my face off, and and
I don't think
frustration.
the Legendary Edition has any achievements for difficulty either. You can play it on whatever difficulty you want.
Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah,
the original version had an achievement for beating on Insanity, and that's why I beat all three of them on Insanity. There's an achievement for each one.
Well, God bless you, sir. But at the same time, the armature, I had a sniper rifle, and I mean that's what I'm spec'd into. I shot that thing 13 times in the face before it died, and that was after lowering the difficulty. And I'm like going, this is like, and then of course now that I'm kind of progressed and I have better weapons, I'm like, now this is feeling a little like boring. But then I got like the plus 200, that plus 100 shield advancement for your armor, so now my shields are like 200%. So. Anyways, I'll stop talking. Sorry.
Yeah,
way too much Mass Effect.
Mass Effect 1 and 2 on Insanity were not that much fun, but Mass Effect 3 on Insanity was actually my favorite playthrough of all of them, because I think the Insanity difficulty is much more well balanced on that one, and not everyone is just a crazy bullet sponge like they are on 1 and 2. But anyways, yes. Now, unless it comes up as one of our topics, I think we'll move on from Mass Effect for now. But I see a couple other faces in chat, or the lack of face, because I see Faceless is over on the Twitch side. Good evening, Faceless. Always showing up as usual. Good to see you. And Compa is also here tonight saying, hey, Neo. What's up, Compa compatriot? Always good to see you as well. So, Cherik, is there anything you've been playing lately?
Well, before I hopped in here, I had started playing Vampire Crawlers. I've been playing the demo since it came out.
I didn't know there was a demo.
And so... Oh yeah, there was a demo. It had the first 2 stages and the first like handful of crawlers, which are like all the characters you would play in Survivors.
Okay. So you weren't going into the full release blind. You actually kind of know how the game plays already.
A little bit, yeah. And it's also fun because I also somehow racked up 60 achievements.
Holy
from playing the demo.
So the achievements carry over from the demo. Nice.
Yes, along with your save.
Just like
I think there's some things.
Vampire Survivors has the same thing. I can play it on my phone or whatever, and then I can boot it up on my Xbox, and all the achievements that I would have unlocked once I sync my save.
Yeah.
So very nice. So were you a fan of Vampire Survivors as well?
I remember when I first saw it, it was just this random like Facebook ad. You know how they like to push just this kind of junk shovelware like app games.
Yes.
And I saw it for Vampire Survivors, and it's like, oh, okay, well, this looks kind of neat. It's probably just a little cheap, just kind of grab your money and go
It almost
thing. But
looks
then I
like one of
started
those fake
seeing
games you see in advertisements, and they never end up being that game, except this one actually is the real game.
it does. And then I started seeing some other people playing it, and then I started going, it's like, okay, maybe there's something to this. And then I picked it up and just, yeah, no, it's killed my phone battery many
How
times.
many hours would you say you have in Vampire Survivors?
Let's see, not counting
Across
the
all platforms that you played it on? Because
oh, not as much as I thought I
Okay.
would. I've got my Steam open. I only have 30 hours logged in
Oh.
on Steam, but I can probably match that easy on my phone.
Yeah, I've probably got about 20 hours so far. So it's one of those ones where I'll play like very occasionally. But so, anyways, Vampire Crawlers, which just launched today. I saw the achievement list on Xbox. I don't know if it's the same on other platforms. It was 161 achievements at launch, which is very high to say the least, at least for Xbox games. So, how are you liking Vampire Crawlers?
I love it. And, like I was unsure because I'd never been super into like the old school dungeon crawler kind of RPGs, but I love deck builders. And so, okay, it was just a demo, so it was free. What have I got to lose, right? So I'm going to go in, try the demo. I love every aspect of it. It's one of the few, probably the only roguelike deck builder that I can consistently succeed at.
Have you tried some of the other ones? Like I hear Slay the Spire is a really popular one.
Slay the Spire, I've played both of those, and while I love it, it doesn't always love me. So I can usually make it to like the second kind of area of the game, and then just everything gets stacked against me. And it's like, all right, well, at least I made it this far. If I can at least make it to the boss, it's a little bit each time. But I just know for a fact I'm never gonna clear like Crucible, whatever. I'm just happy to win.
Okay. So like I knew Vampire Crawlers, it got announced, I don't know if it was earlier this year or last year, but like I saw the original announcement and that was about it. So I knew like next to nothing about the game other than it's nothing like Vampire Survivors. So just you talking about it a little bit kind of puts in perspective for me like what it's a roguelike deck builder. So now I've never played a roguelike deck builder because roguelikes in general are not really my thing. Deck builders, I haven't played any deck builder games, I don't think. But I have played a couple deck building board games with friends, but not any video games. So, two combinations of genres that I don't really have anything against. They're just not really up my alley. So I don't know if I'll give Vampire Crawlers a shot. But it sounds like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say if you're interested in diving into the like the deck builder, roguelike deck builder genre, start with this one because what helps you basically win every time is they have a sort of a combo system. So you have cards that cost different amounts of mana, usually somewhere between 1 and 3. So for example, you have like the knives that cost 0, you have the King's Bible, which costs 1, and then you have like the axe that costs 2. If you play the knives or whatever I said, which costs 0, it makes the thing that costs 1 more powerful. And then if you play the thing that costs 1 and there's still enemies on the screen, this thing that costs 2 is way more powerful.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to clear really any encounter in like 2 or 3 turns aside from bosses.
Okay. That sounds kind of similar to Monster Sanctuary, which was a Pokemon-like Metroidvania. And
Ooh.
it's and it's basically a 3v3, and it's not like it is, you take turns, but it's like all 3 of your monsters are out at the same time, and you can have them attack in whichever order you want. And it's basically whoever wipes out the other 3, whoever wipes out the opponent's 3 monsters first wins the battle. But there is a combo system in that. So like typically you want to do like your debuffs or buffing character like first, and whoever's attacking, want them to be last, because whoever goes last has the most combo points built up from the characters you have go first and second. So you could have any of them go first, but if you have maybe like a stronger attacker, you want to have him go last so that the combo makes his attacks do more damage. So sounds kind of like that.
Yeah. And the other thing that adds on top of Vampire Crawlers is, like in Vampire Survivors, you got your weapons, but then you also have relics, and if you have the right combination of the two, you can evolve it into something more powerful.
Okay.
So using another example, you take the whip, and then you have an item called a Hollow Heart, which normally raises your max HP. If you happen across either, like, you level up or you happen across a red orb or something, then you have the option to upgrade it to, I believe they call it the Bloody Tear. And so you just have like the more powerful whip. It costs more mana to use because it's a level 2 weapon, but it's usually worth it like 90% of the time.
Cool. All right. Well, there's your crash course in Vampire Crawlers for anyone who's interested in it, since it just came out today. Also see Vance over on the Twitch side. Hello, Vance. Welcome to Party Chat. So as for myself, most of what I've been playing has been on stream. Basically, the only thing I haven't been playing on stream, but is actually the main thing I've been playing, is I've been playing Smash Brothers Brawl, because we got retro achievement support recently. So I've been playing a lot of Wii games. I beat Twilight Princess last week, I think, and got all the achievements in that one. So that was my first Wii mastery. And that was great to play through Twilight Princess again, because that game is freaking phenomenal. But right after I finished that, I started playing some Smash Bros. Brawl. So I actually finished Subspace Emissary, I think, while I was watching Ryan play Mass Effect on Sunday. But a couple other things I've been playing on stream is I've been doing Blast Brigade and the Evil Legion of Dr. Creed for Metroidvania Monday, and I am not really enjoying this game. There's so many things that based on what I saw, I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to love this game. And then when I actually played it, it has so many things going against it. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm not having anywhere near. I thought I was going to love this game, and I am not enjoying it. But I'm dedicated to seeing it through, at least to beating it. I do plan to get 100% of the achievements, but I will, as with most of the games I do on stream, I just go for the story completion on stream, and then I'll wrap up the rest of the achievements off stream. But that's what I've been doing on Metroidvania Monday. Not really having a lot of fun, not having a blast with that one, pun intended. And then I've been doing Satisfactory on stream with Lowest Expectations for our Chatisfactory streams. And then Ryan, you'll love this, guy. I hinted to this in your stream the other day, because I have been playing both on Xbox, but I've been doing the Xbox version off stream, but I've been doing the N64 version on stream for Retro Rewind on Wednesdays. Last Wednesday, I started playing through GoldenEye again for the first time in a very, very long time.
Yeah, you did.
I was talking to Dude recently about Retro Rewind. He's like, "What game are you gonna play next?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't decided yet," because I finished playing through A Link to the Past a few weeks ago. And he's like, "You've only played 2 N64 games, being Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask." He's like, "You need to play some more N64 games." I'm like, "You're right. I do need to play some more N64 games." But I wasn't sure which one I wanted to play. So I put a poll in my Discord. I'm like, I listed 5 games, N64 games, and I let the people in my Discord decide what I was going to play. And it was like,
what were the 5 games?
GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Star Fox, Banjo-Kazooie, and I think Shadows of the Empire. And GoldenEye won by a landslide.
I got a quick question for
you. Oh no, here we go.
So real quickly, before you ask your question, the reason why I bring this up is because this is an ongoing debate on literally every episode of Party Chat, because I do love GoldenEye, but Perfect Dark is better. So this gets brought up almost every
Apparently
episode.
Not, according to the Discord chat.
So go ahead, Cherrick. What was it you were going to ask?
On a somewhat related note, are you aware of, or do you follow like all of these decomp recomp projects that like show up on Twitter every so often?
I don't follow any of them, but I will see it in passing. Like the last one the last couple I heard about, the last big one I heard about was the Star Fox 64 decompile.
Yeah, they got
I
Star
think
Fox.
there was a decompile for Mario 64 as well.
There's a few different versions for Mario 64. There's ones for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which are excellent.
I did not know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfortunately, you can't play decompiles and get retro achievements, so that's the thing that's going against them.
That would be the drawback. But you mentioned Brawl, and it just triggered in my head. Is like, oh, did you know they're decomping Brawl finally?
I did not know that.
Yes, it's decomped. It's not quite. They're still working on it, so we're probably not going to see like a quote unquote PC port of it probably till like next year.
Okay.
But it just got me excited. It's like, ooh, I would love to be able to play Subspace Emissary in like full HD.
Yeah. I just finished playing through Subspace Emissary on Sunday for the first time since I think Brawl came out, because I played Brawl a lot. It's actually my most played Smash Brothers. But I only did Subspace Emissary once. So this is my first time playing through it since Brawl released. And I know there's kind of like an internet debate between like which Smash Brothers has like the best single player. And overall, I think Ultimate is the best Smash Bros, but I'm not a fan of Smash Bros' Ultimate's single player. What it's called, like World of Light or something like that.
Yeah,
I do not like that one, but I really enjoyed Subspace Emissary, and playing it again. That was what I like. I remember enjoying it back then, but I was like, maybe things have changed in the 20 years or almost that since the game came out. So maybe playing it again, I won't have the same. Maybe my perception of it will change. And no, I still really enjoyed Subspace Emissary, and it's still my favorite single player mode. Although I think adventure mode in Melee was also really good, but I liked it more drawn out and fleshed out in Subspace Emissary.
I totally agree. Like I like the adventure mode in Melee. That's always fun to go through. But yeah, it just like it peaked with Subspace Emissary. It could have been its own standalone game, and I think people still would have just absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of Brawl. It has 375 achievements, so there's a lot to do. I don't plan on getting the mastery for it because there's a lot of really difficult stuff. But I have 118 of the achievements so far, but I still have a lot to do because there's an achievement for beating classic mode on hard with every character, which is not difficult because you can use continues.
Oh, okay.
And I think I've cleared classic with like 8 of the characters so far. There's an achievement for beating all-star mode with each character on normal difficulty, which isn't too bad. It's just there are you can continue in the game. I'll address that momentarily. I will address that momentarily.
Before you do, you might want to address the nice young lady who asked how all of us are doing. You kind of glazed over that. There's a young lady here.
Oh,
you got to get to the young lady. Like, come on, man.
I will before we get into our topics. But All-Star mode has continues, but the achievement specifies that you can't use a continue, so you have to do it without dying. Fortunately, it only has to be on normal difficulty, so it's not too bad. I was doing through All-Star mode last night with Link, and it took me 4 tries, so I kept getting screwed over by like none of the enemies ever killed me. I got screwed over by like stage changes, like a stage hazard spawned and immediately killed me, or I'm charging an attack, and right before my attack goes, like a bomb just appears out of thin air, and I attack the bomb and kill myself. It's like really frustrating, but fortunately that's only on normal difficulty. The one that I think is going to be really tough is there's an achievement for beating boss battles with each character on hard difficulty, and that one doesn't even have continues. So if you die, you have to start over. You can't even choose to continue if you wanted to. And I had trouble beating it on easy difficulty, much less normal, much less hard. So that one's going to be very difficult, but that's a huge chunk of achievements right there, is just beating the 3 modes with each character, since there's 35 characters. So but I am having a lot of fun playing Brawl again for the first time in a long time.
An achievement I would love to see, and granted this would probably apply more towards Melee, is like I just remember like going on forums back in the day, going, it's like, oh, okay, what all characters can I unlock? And you see stuff like, okay, did you know you can unlock Toad? You can do that, but you have to play as Donkey Kong and defeat 20 opponents on Cruel Melee, and then you have to play the credits on Fast and get every single credit.
You have to hit every single target. Yeah, all the made up BS, and they'll be like, "Oh, really?" All the fake characters that were never actually in the game
just ate it up.
So, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. Probably the thing after I beat Subspace Emissary, the thing I've been spending most of my time on over the last few hours of the game is the Target Smash, because there's an achievement for each of the 5 levels of Target Smash, and beating it with unlike the story modes where there's an achievement for each character. There's one achievement for completing all of level 1 with each character, so just one. But there's also an achievement for each of the levels for having a combined total less than a certain amount. So you have to beat it pretty fast with each character. So I've done that for Target Smashes 1 and 2. I'm just getting started on Target Smash 3, and I don't know how I'm going to meet that threshold, because that threshold is the first for Target Smash 1 and 2. When I actually finished all 35 characters, I was only like 5 or 10 seconds over the threshold, so I only had to shave a few seconds off. I've done like 2 or 3 of the Target Smash 3s, and the average you need to get is like 23 seconds. And the 3 characters I've done so far, the average time I've been getting is like 35 seconds. So I think Target Smash 3, either I need to figure out a better strategy or something, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to meet this threshold. But yeah, so dude is in chat over on the Rumble side. What's up, dude? Says howdy, calling me a wimp. Yep, that's fair, because I'm pretty sure he's planning on doing Brawl, and he'll probably master it as well. But he has done Smash Melee, and he mastered it and got all like 300, and I want to say that one had like 318 achievements. Let's see, I actually have it right here, 338, and he got them all, and some of them are very difficult. I will for sure never master Melee either, but I booted up Melee again yesterday or the day before to check on some progress that I made, because I haven't played it in like probably almost 2 years now. And I was like, why do I have no data? And I was like, oh crap, I reinstalled Windows on my computer a few months ago to try and fix an issue, and I did not back up my Dolphin save files. So when I do get back to playing Melee, I'll be starting from scratch again. So I shot myself in the foot with that one. So I was very disappointed in myself. So I have no progress on that one. But he says he's currently playing through Modern Warfare on Wii on Veteran, which is I'm planning on doing at least the 4 Call of Duties that have Wii achievements so far. I do plan to play those in the near future as well. But yeah, the Smash Brothers games, the achievements are quite difficult, so I don't think I'll probably ever get all the achievements. But going back to where I started was Retro Rewind, the poll that I put up, GoldenEye won. So I started playing GoldenEye for Retro Rewind last Wednesday, and I had a lot of fun with that, because it's been a very long time since I played GoldenEye. Although I am also playing the Xbox version off stream, but only like 1 level a day just to get an achievement to keep my achievement streak alive. But I actually beat the Xbox version only on Agent just this afternoon. But I am looking forward to playing some more GoldenEye tomorrow night, because that was a lot of fun playing it for retro achievements. And then once I finish playing GoldenEye on stream for Retro Rewind, I'm immediately going to follow that up with Perfect Dark, because I also have not played Perfect Dark in a very long time. So I'm very much looking forward to playing that as well. I did boot up the Xbox Live Arcade version of Perfect Dark the other day. Actually, while I was watching your stream, because we were talking about it in chat, Ryan. And the Xbox Live Arcade version is just like buttery smooth. And it's like, I want to go back to playing the N64 version. It's not going to be quite as nice. It's still going to be fun, but the Xbox Live Arcade version is just like, oh, it's so perfect. Pun intended as well.
I'll just say this is, you play video games all the time. I've been missing out, man. I've really missed my gaming computer. Look, my previous gaming computer is fine. It's an RTX 2000 series, but this one's an RTX 4000 series, and I missed the out of playing, actual games, having fun with it, and just playing a good game. That's quite frankly, because Mass Effect, despite some of the tedious things, I'm not really a major fan of the Mako gameplay.
Yeah,
but
Mako's not great.
Well, when
which is
you're
why
trying
I
to
didn't
climb,
come back in 2 or 3.
yeah, it's when you're trying to climb mountains and stuff like that, it's so obnoxious.
Although I think you've played Legendary Edition, so you'll have to correct me. But I thought that they gave it some upgrades in the Legendary Edition that gave you like thrusters, not like the jump thrusters, but like boost thrusters. Is that right?
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought they gave the Mako like a boost.
If
thruster,
they did, I don't see. I'll look it up, dude. I'll look it up, because that would oh God,
I could be wrong about that. I was under the impression they did, but I may be wrong about that.
God, that'd make me want to not pull my face off sometimes.
Yeah, because climbing those mountains in the Mako can be a real pain in the butt.
Well, you have to stay on the green. You have to stay on the grass. Like if there's too much rock face and it's all brown and stuff, and it's like going, go for the green, go for the green. You're like going, I can get that green, that little bit of green, get one tire there, and it's like going, and it gets up, and you're like, this is stupid. I mean, it's funny, but it's stupid.
Yeah. So, All right. And yes, Ariana asked in chat, how are you three doing today? I'm doing overall, I'm doing well. I had to take my car in today just for some regular maintenance, so that was a bit pricey. But I'm doing good.
Really?
Had a good
What
day.
car you got?
Santa Fe. So
Okay.
I got it new in 23, and I thought that with my warranty, it comes the Hyundai has like arguably the best warranty in the business, but it's 10 years, 10,000 or 100,000 miles. And I thought
Mhm.
that my regularly scheduled maintenance was also covered under that because I haven't actually had to pay anything for any of the maintenance when I take it in after whatever 20, 30,000 miles or whatever it is so far. But what I didn't realize until today is that it's only your first 4 maintenances. And so my
Yeah.
fourth maintenance
Yeah.
was the last time I took it in. So they're like, all right, this is how much you owe today. I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting to pay anything today. So
Was
that
it
was
just
a
like
bit
a
of a
standard
bummer.
oil change and everything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get you at that one.
So, and I had a tire blowout last week, and so I had to get new tires because
Well,
I
easy speed racer, Jesus.
and
What are we going like 1,000?
no, it was I was pulling into a parking lot and I hit the curb, and so it popped my tire. But it only hit one. But when I took it in to get it replaced, they're like, "Your tires are pretty worn out. You should get some new tires." And I was like, "All right, I guess I should." So I wasn't expecting to pay that either. So
Yeah, probably cost a good $400 or $500.
yep. So I've
Reminds
had a
me-
few extra expenses lately that I wasn't anticipating, but overall, things are going good.
Well, Korean hookers don't count, so just stop.
So, but yeah, so hope you are doing well tonight, Ariana, and passing us the food in chat. That looks quite yummy. So, but all right, with that, we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. And I think this is the first time in a few episodes, because as usual, I always like to offer our guests the opportunity to suggest a topic. And our last few guests hadn't had anything to suggest, so I just came up with the topics myself. But Cherrick here messaged me yesterday or Sunday evening, like, "Ooh, here's a topic for us to chat." And I'm like, "Ooh, that's a great topic." So Cherrick's topic that he suggested for us tonight is, what is an IP that you would like to see get a new licensed game? So that was a great question. I had to think about that one for a little while. So Cherrick, since this is your question, why don't you go ahead and get us started?
Sure. If anybody remembers back in, what was it, like 02, 03 on Cartoon Network, there was a show called Megas XLR.
Mega
And-
what?
Megas XLR.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I
said
thought he said
something else.
I thought he said Mega Sex LR, and I'm like,
That's
I've
what I
never
thought
heard
he
of that.
said too.
No,
I was like,
that was maybe on Adult Swim later.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound
I
like
was like,
Cartoon
do I
Network.
need
That
to
sounds like
check
Adult
this show
Swim.
out, or
Well, I mean, yes, all the same. But
Okay,
yeah, anyone who's
Mega-
unfamiliar, it's basically the tagline was "Chicks dig giant robots," which isn't helping my case.
Give
No,
us
it's
the name
really
of
not.
it one more time for clarity's sake.
Megas XLR,
Excellent.
which
Okay, I've never
the
heard of it
XLR
before.
stands for extra large robot. Basically, it's about this. There's basically like this future alien war. Earth's last hope is this robot named Megas. It gets hurled back in time to then current day New Jersey, and just this kind of like this meathead gamer guy picks it up, and he knows how to fix it up. And so the aliens also travel back in time to basically take it back, but it's basically, kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of making fun of like anime in just various cartoons at the time and MTV and stuff like that. But the stuff that the robot could do, like there was like wrestling moves, there were these energy blades, all sorts of guns, all sorts of space travel, alien stuff. And it's like, this would make a really just awesome video game if anybody knew how to make it. And unfortunately, the show only lasted 2 seasons, so there really wasn't much of an opportunity with, say, like Samurai Jack, which eventually got a game.
Okay, yeah, I haven't played it, but I do know that there is a game. I think I watched Nightmare stream a little bit of it a little while back. So Mega, yeah. Apparently, dude knows what you're talking about. I had never heard of it, but he says, yeah, should have been an Adult Swim series, but sadly, it was a tax write-off.
Yeah.
The entire series is on the Internet Archive, though, if anyone wants to check it out. So, if maybe you don't have an answer to this question, but in your head, how exactly would this game play? What would it be similar to?
It would be probably best bet would be like a 3D brawler or like a hack and slash, because there's a
Okay.
lot of, again, there's like a lot of wrestling, so there's a lot of opportunity for grappling moves. You can do a little bit of range attack with just a variety of guns and missiles. You could even, I don't know which game this would be most apt towards, but you could also take off and fly. You could be just like in this arena until there's like a space mission, then you're just kind of free floating in space.
Okay, that would be cool. Yeah, so maybe like a combination of a few other games.
Yeah, and one of the running gags is like, even though he saves the world from the alien invasion, like New Jersey's always just leveled. So it'd be a lot of destructible environments in there too.
Okay. No, yeah, I'm trying to think of something that might be similar to that, but like maybe the ground gameplay could be something like Prototype or Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Oh yeah,
but you could fly off into space like No Man's Sky and have space battles like some Robotech game or something like that.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. That would.
Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah. Like especially the ground part of Hulk Ultimate Destruction is like that would be perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Like
I haven't
like,
played that one, but because I'm a huge fan of Prototype, everyone's like, "Oh, you got to play Hulk Ultimate Destruction."
Yeah.
So it has retro achievements, so I'm gonna play it at some point. I just don't know when.
yeah, it's like Hulk with missiles is what the ground combat would be.
That does sound like a lot of fun. I would definitely be interested in that. So, the Megas XLR, who's the main character in that?
Okay, so the main character is Coop, who's played by David DeLuise, and he's this, fat and proud, kind of a gearhead, been a gamer all of his life, just finding some stuff in the junkyard, and just the guy gets fed up with him. It's like, hang in that pile, it's $2. And lo and behold, there's the robot. There's Megas. It's like $2, huh? So it's
Okay.
him, his best friend Jamie, who is played by Steve Bloom, just kind of like this greedy little, like sniveling kind of a coward. And Kiva, who is the woman who is fighting this future war, and she comes back through the portal, and she's trying to get the robot back, but she has no choice but to team up with Coop and teach him how to pilot the robot, because Coop's modified it so extensively.
Okay. And this robot, is it like Gundam size or is it like remote control car size? Like, what's the size scale that we're talking about?
It's an 80-foot robot, and by the time Coop
so
gets a hold of it, it has a red Plymouth Barracuda for a head.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly what size scale we're talking here. Because I'm thinking,
I don't know
if
if I
it's
can
small
share
robot, it
anything.
could be like the robots at the beginning of like Big Hero 6, so they have little like the robot battles, but this is like an actual like full like Gundam size robot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, cool. I would definitely be interested in this game. I'm assuming that given how short the lifespan of this show was, there was never any. I think you might have addressed it already, but it never got any sort of video game adaptation, right?
No, I think if anything, there might have been like a web game for CartoonNetwork.com, but it was never anything deep.
Like Flash game.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely intrigued. I like the sound of that. So, all right. Well, good call. I've never heard of that franchise before. If you can call it that, a show with one or two seasons.
Right. It was my favorite thing to come out of Cartoon Network, hands down.
Yeah, I never had Cartoon Network, so there's a lot of that stuff that I totally missed back in the day.
Check out Tubi. They uploaded a bunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know of Tubi. I've never used it, but Tubi's like free, right?
Tubi's free, yeah. As long as you don't mind the ads,
Yes.
they have a bunch of good stuff on there.
Yeah, they really
cool. All right, so some Cartoon Network stuff has made its way to Tubi then.
Yeah, it's not Megas, unfortunately, but like Ed, and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory. I think Classic Powerpuff Girls is on there. Cow and Chicken, I want to say, is.
I forgot that existed. So, all right, well, I'll talk about a trip down memory lane. Good stuff. So, Ryan, did you have anything for this one that you'd like to see a license, a game get a new license, or an IP get a new license game?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be kind of kind of weird off because I don't think they ever actually had an actual game that I know of. I know there was a mobile game that kind of had stuff, but anyway, long story short, I would love to see the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first 3 seasons, actually made into a video game to where with full motion, because like you could actually have the Rangers, you could fight together, you could actually have the combat, you could try to like, end the monster earlier, something like that. And if you ultimately kind of failed, which in a lot of the show they did, all of a sudden the monster came really big and you had to bring the dinosaurs out, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. That's just me being old as shit, to be quite frank.
Would this play like a beat 'em up?
I think you would. I would rather see it play more. What's the best way to put this?
Because they did just have that Power Rangers Rita's Rewind come out not that long ago, and I heard it was pretty good because it was very similar to that very popular Ninja Turtles beat 'em up that came out, Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would kind of want something that's maybe a little more story driven. I think the best probably way to put it would be kind of do it something similar to Mass Effect, but then you'd have like these cut scenes, and then you could actually make it to where, well, you go from fighting with the squad of the Rangers, and then all of a sudden you're like you're in the dinosaurs and stuff like that, and you're fighting the monster, and there might be another monster, and then like you'd have. So I guess maybe something it'd be
more.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what I would describe it as.
Because based on what you're saying, I'm thinking kind of like the story modes in the more recent Mortal Kombats, but with Power Rangers. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Where you get like, is it like a fighting game?
It would, well, yeah, definitely be a fighting game, but it needs to have it needs to be more story driven.
Okay.
And the thing is that I haven't really played the modern Mortal Kombat games.
I haven't either, but I've seen people stream them, and they're very story heavy. And then, the story will lead to characters having some sort of beef with each other, and then it'll go into an actual fight. And then when you win the fight, it goes into another cutscene that leads into another fight. So then, yeah, that would be something I would definitely play, but it would have to be with the original version of it from 1993. Yeah, because I don't know if I have it anymore, but I had the original Power Rangers game on Super Nintendo, which was a beat 'em up. But yeah, there wasn't really much of a story to it. It was kind of like those traditional Ninja Turtles side-scrolling beat 'em ups from back in the day. But yeah, something with a lot more story to it. So it sounds like it'd probably be like if you took the modern Mortal Kombat single player game design and threw the Ninja Turtles, the Power Rangers into it, which I would definitely be interested in that, even though I'm not big on fighting games, but I did love the Power Rangers. I mean, heck, I got my Zeozords right there. I do have the Gen 1 Megazord.
Yeah, you do.
But I don't know where it is.
You got the Zeo Megazord?
Yeah, I got both Zeo Megazords, but I have the Gen 1 with the original Megazord. I just don't know where it is. I haven't been able to find it for years. If I ever find it, it's going out here on display.
Is the one on the right, is that actually the Shogun Megazord?
I don't think so.
The Zeozords are actually the one that's on that one, yeah. And then there was the Red Battlezord that Tommy had. So it was basically kind of like you brought together the Zeo Megazords, then the Red Battlezord, and then that was kind of like Mega Dragonzord power in the original thing.
No,
and then of course
Red Dragon one.
I have the original toys from when that was a thing. And then I actually, luckily, I think like, I don't know, a decade or something like that after that, I found Pyramidas, which
I wanted to get that so bad when I was a kid.
I have that. Yeah. So you can put them all together, and it was basically, it was Ultra Zord. So it was basically Titanus and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. With a lot of the original cat. No,
I wanted to get
Zeo was
so
after I
bad
stopped watching.
Yeah. So I actually had these backwards because, I thought this was the first gen Zeozord, and then this was the second one. And someone who's a big Power Rangers fan I had on open mic one time. They're like, no, this was the first Gen Zeo Zord, and then this was the Gen 2 Power Rangers Zeo Megazord.
Yeah, it was, which I do not have that one. I wanted that one, you filthy bastard.
But yeah, I have the Gen 1 Megazord with the pterodactyl and the Triceratops, saber-tooth tiger.
I think she's a phoenix.
No,
sorry, I'm being all nerdy and shit. My bad, dude.
they're all dinosaurs. So it was a pterodactyl, Triceratops, saber-tooth.
Well, those were the
dinosaurs.
That was the first one. Remember, then they turned into the Ninja Zords.
Yeah, that came after. I wanted the Ninja Zords. I never ended up getting them, but I have the Gen 1 Megazord. If I ever find it, it's going out on display here. My friend had the Green Ranger's Dragon Zord. I always wanted to get that myself, but I didn't have it. But since he had it, we did the thing where you combine them into one Megazord. And then the other one that I really wanted to get, but I never did, was, I forget what it was called, but it was like the long neck, like Brontosaurus.
Titanus.
Is that Titanus? That
the white
Dragon Zord went into? Yep. I wanted to get that, and I never ended up getting that one either.
Oh, but we're tapping into way nerdy, like, dude. When I got the Zeo Zords, the first generation ones, and the Red Battle Zord, like, I was like 13 years old. My parents were like, "Wait, what? You want these?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like, because I was even a nerd then. I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "What are you gonna do with them?" I'm like, going, "Put them together." They didn't understand like collecting things then, but I started collecting early as a kid. The very first thing I ever collected was the what was it? The Hasbro Darth Maul double-bladed lightsaber without the hood or whatever. That thing. Yeah, that thing flew off the I mean, it was like $6 at Walmart, but whenever I would like try to find one, I couldn't find one. And if I did, I didn't have, like, because I was a kid, I was riding my bike then. I'd have to hide it somewhere behind the shelf. And then and try to
no one buys it.
So hoping nobody found it. Yeah. And then of course, like, going, I think it took like 4 tries. Finally, on the 5th try, came back and it was still there.
Nice.
That was the first thing I ever collected. So anyway, I'm a huge nerd. So anyway,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I forgot about that the Gen 2 Zeo Zord. I really did.
Yeah. The other thing, I think that my Gen 1 Megazord and these other two that I'm about to mention are together because I can't find them either. And if I find them, they're going out on display here as well. But like my favorite show as a kid was Beast Wars. And I have the Trans Metal Optimus Primal. And I also have Optimal Optimus, and I don't know where they are, and I want to freaking find them so I can put them out on display. But I think they're with my Gen 1 Megazord because I can't find any of those three. So they've got to be together somewhere, and I just don't know where. But that's way off topic. So,
yeah, we definitely got off topic. Well, I mean, again, I'd love to see an actual kind of like, Power Rangers game like that. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. But
that would be cool.
Yeah.
There was the other Power Ranger game that was recent. It was a straight up fighting game, so I don't know if it was any good because I don't do fighting games. But there was Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I don't know if that had any story mode in it or not, but I don't know if it was even any good.
I heard it was decent. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it wasn't terrible.
Okay. Like, I heard good things about Rita's Rewind though, because it played a lot like Shredder's Revenge, but
yeah.
Power Rangers.
And with that in mind, I'm kind of looking forward to the if it's not out already, the Toxic Avengers? It's gonna have a similar feel.
That I think that came out. Toxic. Oh, I keep getting Toxic Avengers and Toxic Commando mixed up. Yeah. So I don't know.
It did come out. It came out December 4th.
Okay.
And all I know is it looks like, Rita's Rewind and Shredder's Revenge, plus the soundtrack was done by one of my favorite bands, Psycho Stick.
Not heard of that band.
Comedy metal band. If you've heard any of them, you probably heard the Beer Song.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have.
Or
I don't think I have either.
So yeah, this beer, which like the chorus is like, beer is good, and stuff. And then recently, one of their parodies blew up, which is called I Can Only Count to 4, which is a parody of Drowning Pool's Bodies.
Oh, I love that song.
Okay, look up I Can Only Count to 4.
I can only count to 4. Is that the chorus?
Yes, I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4.
That's funny. I gotta.
That's actually pretty good with the little bit of the roar there. I like that.
Oh, thank you.
Only count. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna check that out afterwards. Parody. So, all right. So for my answer to this question, I wrote down a number of them. Go through a couple of them that are already established franchises that just haven't had a game in a while that I would love to see, and then I'll finish up with the one that there are games in this franchise, just none that have ever been any good. But a couple franchises that I would love to see another game in. That would be a licensed game. I actually wrote one down here, and then I went back and I'm like, oh, that's not a licensed game, so I had to take it off my list. But I love another Rock Band game as long as I could use my existing instruments and I wouldn't need the crazy expensive adapter. Or if they release some new peripherals that were backwards compatible that I could still use on my old hardware and my old games, because I freaking love the Rock Band games. Another game in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise would be great. I've been playing a crap load of Tony Hawk 3+4. I've been playing it almost every day since it came out because it's got a very long, grindy, pun intended, achievement for beating the entire game with every skater. So I play that for a few minutes a day to make progress towards that one. But I would love to see another one in the franchise. That'd be great. Another one that I don't really know how this is totally pie in the sky because this wouldn't work anyways because Disney's now in control of Star Wars. But I would love a continuation of the Kyle Katarn games because Jedi Academy is the best Star Wars game ever made. And I would love to see another one in that style. The closest thing we've gotten is the Cal Kestis games, which they're closest, but it's not the same thing. However, I did just by chance happen to watch a video today on YouTube that was like 10 games that are better on their hardest difficulty, and Jedi Survivor was on there. And apparently there's a perk in that game where it increases all damage dealt drastically, but it also increases all damage taken drastically. So it plays more like your lightsaber actually does more like realistic damage. That's the main reason why I don't consider those to be, actual spiritual successors, because the lightsaber, it's a Souls-like game with lightsabers, but so enemies have health bars and stuff. The Jedi Knight series of games don't have that because lightsabers operate like actual lightsabers. But with this perk, that kind of gets it a little bit closer to that real lightsaber feel. So I haven't played Jedi Survivor yet, but when I get around to playing, I'm gonna have to try that out and see how I like it. So, but that might be a good representation of what I would like. So that wouldn't be my final choice. Another one that I'd like to see, and this would make Nightmare proud if he was in chat, is another in the Batman Arkham franchise, because Suicide Squad does not count. Another real Batman game. I don't know how that would work either, since spoiler alert, at the end of Arkham Knight, Batman dies, or that's what we're led to believe. But I would just love another proper Arkham game. But
the way I could see that is if and I'm not the biggest comic book guy, so I could be getting some things conflated, but I'm pretty sure like after Nightfall, which is what happens at the end of Arkham Knight, at least in the comics, Bruce Wayne kind of goes underground and starts training a bunch of other people and becomes Batman Incorporated. So it could be kind of going beyond
Gotham Knights, but good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was very excited for Gotham Knights, and then I'd never actually heard anything good about it after it came out, so I didn't end up playing it. But I was like, oh, this game looks like it could be great. So if they did that, but good, that could be very close to what I would like to see. But I do need to go back and play, because I played through Arkham Asylum and I played Arkham City last year, and I played Arkham Asylum again the year before that, I think. But I haven't played Arkham Knight in a good number of years. I need to go back and play Arkham Knight again at some point. It's just, I've gotten all the achievements already, so it's not very compelling unless I play it on a different platform. But lost Ryan.
No.
Hopefully he'll be back here momentarily.
Also, I just need to address something with Dude here. There's no such thing as H flat.
So what? So I
He
think.
said "So Heavy," which is a Psycho Stick song.
Oh, okay. I think maybe that's what he was referring to, but so heavy. I think my interpretation was he was talking about when I was talking about Jedi Survivor and how like the lightsaber feels heavy, and that's not how a
Oh
lightsaber
yeah,
is supposed to feel. I thought that's what he was referring to, but I could be completely
right.
wrong about
Yeah,
that.
you're also not supposed to take a lightsaber to the gut and be like, "'Tis but a flesh wound," but that's a conversation for another show.
Yeah, that it is. So, but I was thinking about what because those are all game franchises that already exist that are licensed that I'd like to see another one. And I was like, what's something that's not really a video game franchise that may have some video games in it, but something that is more so new to the video game scene. And I not stumbled upon because I did have this thought like a months ago, but I never actually like wrote it down anywhere or came up with a party chat topic for it. But it is my favorite TV show franchise right there, Stargate. I would love to see a well done Stargate video game because there are a number of Stargate video games out there, none of which I've heard are any good. Probably the best one is the what I think is the first Stargate game, which was a Super Nintendo / Genesis game. It was a side-scrolling like Contra-like game,
Mhm.
which I do plan to play for Retro Rewind at some point. But that's not what I would like. There's actually I think two somewhat recent Stargate games. There was Stargate Timekeepers, and maybe I actually might be thinking these are two separate games, but I think Stargate Timekeepers is actually how I said there's two games. I think it's actually just one. I'm just thinking of it as two separate games. But I heard Stargate Timekeepers was not good. There was a recent Stargate game I looked at, and it was kind of like this. It almost looked like a StarCraft or like Command and Conquer type game where you're controlling units, but it's like you're only controlling like one or two characters. It was actually more of like a stealth game.
Oh.
And it looked interesting, but wasn't. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, no, sorry. I don't know why my VPN was on. It shouldn't be. Like I don't unless I'm uploading content and I need to mask where I'm uploading it from because certain content in the US doesn't you can't anyway, long story short, it was on and I'm like, okay, well there was like some slight latency a couple of times. So that's why I turned it off. And then it turned back on, and I turned it off and it turned back on. And I'm like, I'm just gonna cancel out everything.
All right. Well, glad you're back and got that figured out.
That's just stupid.
Thank you for reminding me of my VPN.
So the what I would love to see for a new license game would be a Stargate game. It could probably take place somewhere in the first 7 seasons or so of SG1, and it would be a first-person shooter, but not like a super hardcore first-person shooter, but it would be more so of like a first-person shooter with a lot of adventure aspects to it, more so akin to like a Metroid Prime, but not necessarily with Metroidvania elements, just more so like it has a strong story. There is first-person shooting, and there is an arsenal of guns, but there's a lot of adventure and like Indiana Jones type of researching. And like in the original movie, they go to Abydos, but they don't know how to get home because they have to figure out the Stargate address in order to get home. So they brush over that in the TV show, and it doesn't matter where they are. They always know how to get back home. They don't have to figure it out because by the lore, every planet you go to, the address you would need in order to get back to the planet you came from would be different. So you can't just memorize one gate address and be able to go back to that one every single time. It changes based on what planet you're on. So the part of the adventure part of it would be to every time you go to a new planet, you have to adventure around that planet and figure out what the Stargate address is to get back home. But while you're there, you still have a bunch of objectives to complete and, fight the Goa'uld or, whatever your objectives are. And I think that'd be a really cool game to have, strong basis in story, and you got your shooting. So it'd probably be the closest thing akin to it would probably be like Halo, essentially. But it's more of a squad based, more like the later ones, because you could be, it could also take place in Stargate canon because you could be like one of the lesser known Stargate teams. So you could be like SG3 or 4 that gets referenced in the TV show, but you never actually see anybody because they're like, oh yeah, we sent SG3 to this planet or whatever. So you could be one of the many SG teams, and you could make up, because they never get named or anything in the show, so you could just make up who the characters are on that squad, and it would be a really great squad-based game as well. So everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So you would typically have at least 2 military people who are well versed in weapons, but then you would have your Daniel Jackson type, who is your science guy, who's your linguist, and he's the really smart one. And then you could have like in the SG1, the 4th person would be like Teal'c, who's the alien, but not every team has an alien on it. But so you could figure out exactly what that 4th person is on the squad. But I think that'd be a really cool idea for a game, because Stargate does have games, but I've never heard anything good really about any of them. And I don't expect there ever to be a good Stargate game, but who knows? Stargate is getting a reboot in the near future. And a lot of us Stargate fans are very cautiously optimistic because it is in Amazon's hands, which has done some notoriously bad butchering of existing IPs. Rings of Power. But they've also done some great things in the right hands, like Terminal List and Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan. A lot of those shows have been excellent. So,
I mean, even the Fallout game is actually pretty good.
The Fallout show is that an Amazon show?
Yeah, it is.
I did not realize that.
It's actually. I mean, there are a couple lore issues that I really gripe about, but they did help correct some of them, which I really appreciate in the 2nd season.
Okay, so yeah, there's another one that has done pretty well. So in the right hands, it could be good, and also in addition to. It's kind of a flip of a coin with Amazon, but like I said, it really depends on who's in charge of it. There are a lot of original Stargate crew who wrote the show back in the 90s and the early 2000s are also working on this Stargate reboot. So there's a lot of things going for it that it could actually end up being good and not being one of those ones that just gets butchered like the Halo show, which doesn't exist. So anyways, that's kind of my idea. I would love to see a Stargate game that kind of plays like Halo, and there's a lot of adventure stuff in it and exploring, not all just straight up combat. So yeah, that's my number one answer for this question. So
piggybacking off of that. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, speaking of like Stargate and how we have like Star Trek and all that, anybody remember SeaQuest? I
know of it, but I've never seen it.
No,
that was an animated one, right?
No, it was basically Star Trek underwater, and it had a talking dolphin.
I haven't seen it, but someone told me about it. There was a underwater show that I think was on Adult Swim that I get mixed up with.
Yeah, Sea Lab 2021.
That one, yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Anyways, SeaQuest, it was made in the 90s. Basically, it was meant to be like Star Trek underwater, and it got a Genesis / SNES game. Abysmal. So they could also use another crack.
Okay, so SeaQuest, all right. So got another friendly face showing up in chat. Rocker Dude's here. What's up, Rocker Dude? Good to see you, buddy. He says, what's up, party chatters? And no surprise, based on his avatar, you might guess on what he's a fan of. And he mentions it in his second chat. He says, we need some good licensed Power Rangers and TMNT games. It's funny you mentioned that, because if you go back a little bit in the stream, that was Ryan's answer, was a Power Rangers game he would love to see. So maybe if you catch the first part of that topic after the stream, you'll be happy to hear that Ryan said Power Rangers. So but yeah,
it has to have the original theme though too. I'm sick and tired of the updated versions of the rocking theme from the 90s. Stop doing updated versions. Just stop it.
Yes,
it's like they tried to do an updated version of Unsolved Mysteries with the same show with Robert Stack. What are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, a lot of those times reviving of old IPs has not been handled well, but there have been a few outliers where they are excellent. So.
Also, in a weird way, I don't know how you do it, but I play an Unsolved Mysteries game where you play like an investigator or something.
Oh,
like you just solve. That'd be weird and fun.
It could be like one of those object finder ones. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I have not heard
all
of.
you have to do is like each one. Like on doing Wanted, you got to find the fugitive. You know, you do Paranormal. I mean, you could just do like a couple of different weird. I don't know. It's just like it'd be weird. It'll be fun.
Oh, okay, I think I
That
see where
shit
you're
would
going with that.
sell.
I don't know this Unsolved Mysteries. Is that like a
What
like
the
these
freak?
murder mystery type shows or?
Somebody kick him! Kick him now!
I don't have any legs.
Only I have that power. Mwahaha. Well, I
You
guess
don't know-
Jason does too, but he's not here, so he could
You don't
hop
know
in
what
and
Unsolved
boot me
Mysteries
out.
is?
No, was that a TV show?
Dude, you're not that much younger than me. You're like maybe 2.5 years younger than me.
We're very close in age. I'll say
You have
that.
to have at least seen a parody of it.
What? It's a TV show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it on?
Basically about unsolved mysteries.
No, like what network?
Oh, Fox.
Fox?
Because
Okay.
it was on after America's Most Wanted.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's probably is one of those like murder mystery type shows, right?
Well, I mean, it's literally based off legitimate, like, you know, unsolved things. Like you've never heard the you've never heard that?
I don't think so.
Dude, Rocker, dude, you know what? Eat a bag of something. All right.
He's like, he doesn't know it either. Thank you, Rocker Dude. I do know that I'm a little bit older than Rocker Dude, though. But yeah, I agree. Ryan is just old.
That's great. Thank you for that.
So,
I'm only 40, but whatever.
All right. So our next topic on the agenda for tonight is I actually thought about this one. I came up with this topic quite recently and added it to my never-ending list of ideas to draw from for top party chat topics. And I think it was because of a game I was playing at the moment. And oh, look, dude says he's never heard of it either. So thank you. I've got two others in my corner as well.
Good
Don't worry, Ryan. I remember what it is.
I mean, like, what? Did your parents not love you? Did y'all not watch TV on Saturday night? I'm sorry, Friday night together?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't really anything on Friday night that ever really interested me. I like the cartoons and stuff. So the mysteries and stuff, I wasn't really interested in.
I remember my
I don't
mornings better than my evenings, and my mornings consisted of, and I could be not in this order, but it was dinosaurs, like the Jim Henson, like dinosaur puppets.
I'm the baby.
Yeah, that one, followed by Chips.
Chips. Okay. I never saw Chips, but I do know of it.
My parents loved Chips. Now, I mean, I was definitely way too young for that one, but I've seen the reruns. But yeah, like I watched America's Most Wanted and Unsolved Mysteries on Friday night, and then I'd get up early and I'd watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at like 7 a.m. because apparently
Yep.
that's when it was on.
Yep.
And then my dad would be like,
that.
"Oh, why are you up?" And I'm like, "I'm watching Power Rangers."
Yep. I would get up for cartoons and stuff on Saturday mornings. Absolutely. So anyways, next topic for tonight is what franchise do you think transitioned best from 2D to 3D? So I think this isn't necessarily my answer, but it is up. Well, sorry if I take one of your answers, but the idea for this topic came into my head while I think I mentioned it earlier, but I recently played through Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I think this is where the inspiration for the question came from is going from 2D Zelda. The last one was Link to the Past, and then the first one 3D was Ocarina of Time, which is one of the greatest games ever made. So Zelda is an excellent example of one of the franchises that made the transition from 2D to 3D excellently. But I do have another answer that I like better than that. I think it made a even better transition from 2D to 3D, but that is one of the top franchises I think transitioned to 3D excellently, because there are some that tried to go to 3D route and did not do so hot, which is a great example of that is another video I saw just this weekend. I don't remember what the topic was, but was like Castlevania. You know, everyone counts Symphony of the Night is also one of the greatest games ever made. And then Castlevania 64 came out and it's like, oh, the new hotness, you want to play this cool new 3D game. You don't want to play that old 2D garbage. And, unironically, Castlevania 64 is known to be a very bad game, and Symphony of the Night is still held in very high regard. So, but curious from you guys, do you have what's another franchise that you think transitioned to 3D excellently?
I would honestly probably say, and Ariel, we're really enjoy this because without Mario, there'd be no Mass Effect. Apparently, I'd say Super
Interesting.
Mario 64. Well, Ariel's a lovely person. She's a little bit wrong about that interpretation. But when I was using
agree.
my thruster, she's like, "Going, see, he's jumping," and I'm like,
He's jumping. It's just like Mario. It's like
I want to
don't
see
know.
that
That's
chart.
I don't know. I understand the mechanics are kind of close, but I don't know if you really can get that bridge there. But I would say Super Mario 64. That was my first introduction to 3D gaming. I'm again a massive fan of the Nintendo 64. I think it's probably the best gaming best gaming platform of all time. There's probably a lot of nostalgia in there, but at the same time, it's just I don't know. There's just something about putting that cartridge in, turn it on, and it's like, God, it's good.
We should get nerd takes on here for you two to debate who loves N64 more, because he loves N64 as well, which is funny because he's quite a few years younger than us. But shout out to nerd takes; he's a good dude.
He was raised right, so I mean, and I'm sure his parents showed him Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know what happened to your family.
Yeah, that is another franchise that I figured would probably get mentioned because so many people do have a huge love for Mario 64. Mario 64 was actually the last mainline Mario game I ever played. I never played any of them after that. I will be changing that here very soon because I'm slowly making my way through basically all the mainline Mario games for retro achievements.
I tried Mario Galaxy. I quit because I didn't like the controller, and then they came out with that the little D-pad style controller. It was better. It still wasn't my favorite thing. I got big hands, man. I'm 6'4". Like I got monster hands. That's why I probably enjoyed the Nintendo 64 controller still to this day.
That's fair.
As a fellow large hands haver, I totally know what you're talking about. And I leaned like I feel like Sunshine gets like too much grief. Like I think I can go back to Sunshine.
I never heard
a lot
really
easier
anything good about Sunshine when it came out, but after many years later, everyone I talked to that's played Sunshine, they're like, "Oh yeah, I love it." I know a few people that like that's their favorite 3D Mario.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say like anybody who like hates Mario Sunshine either just remembers the pachinko side room or watch Game Grumps play the pachinko side room and just grafted that opinion on.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to someone on open mic not that long ago about Sunshine. They were telling me about the pachinko part.
Yeah, I was never it was never something that massively interested me, so I never really picked it up. But I mean, I know there's a lot of people that really love it. So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad because that would just be ignorant. I've never played it. But it's like something because it's aged so well with so many people. I'd definitely like to pick it up and play it.
Yeah, I have a few other older Mario games to get through first, but I do plan to play Sunshine. That's mainly because Angry Canadian, who is one of those that I mentioned, he loves Mario Sunshine. I don't know if it's his favorite Mario game, but I do know he loves Mario Sunshine. So for our challenge last year, he challenged me to it, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So even though we're past the end of our challenge, because it ended at the end of the year, I am still going to make my way through the Mario games. And I will play Sunshine at some point. Hey, there's another one. Melee K's in chat saying Sunshine is great. What's up, Kay? And Christian Frades is here as well. Good evening, Christian. Good to see both of you tonight for Party Chat. Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, I haven't played Mario 64 since it was new. So I remember liking it at the time. But it's no secret that I'm not a big fan of the Mario franchise in general. So when I do get to Mario 64, I may not hold that high of a regard for it, mainly because, I think probably the biggest issue with the game is probably the camera, and that's just because of how the controller is designed. So,
yeah, you can fix the camera pretty easy, though.
That could be. So, I know that so many people hold Mario 64 in like such high regard.
Well,
I just don't know if maybe it's the nostalgia talking.
It's the yellow buttons. If you literally hit basically, it'll do a hard kind of like almost.
It jumps at like 90-degree.
Yeah,
angles.
it jumps to 90-degree angle. So whichever way you're facing, it'll help autocorrect it.
That said, if you hit R, it'll automatically keep the camera behind Mario.
Yeah.
And then if you
Okay.
zoom out, it gives you as close to like a modern day camera as you can get with that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
No, yeah. R would zoom out, so you can just like run around like normal, and then it would actually zoom in so almost like you're looking right behind Mario's head to see what he kind of sees when he looks around.
That's right. I do remember that. So, yeah, that's a good one. Personally, I think Zelda did it better, but that's just because I'm very much partial to the Zelda franchise over Mario. But yeah, that one is held in high regard, and I know that's probably at the top of people's list for what franchise transitioned to 3D the best. I bet Mario 64 would probably be a lot of people's answer. So, Chirik, what about you? Is yours Mario 64 as well, or do you have another one that you thought made the transition well?
I knew Mario and Zelda were going to be taken, and as much as I agree, those were excellent transitions to 2D to 3D. One that I had in mind that kind of made kind of a seamless transition was Metal Gear, going from Metal Gear 2 to Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the, well, not any of the Metal Gear games, but none of the mainline. The only Metal Gear game I played is Rising Revengeance because it's hack and slash. I don't like hack and slash games, but like I watched a friend play the original Metal Gear on NES. That's not what you're talking about, though, is it?
Yeah, it's in the same thing. So like the NES Metal Gear plus the MSX Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake had that same top down, still obviously stealthy kind of thing because that's what the game is based around. But it basically going from Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid is actually more of a like not like a direct sequel, but more of like a proper sequel to Metal Gear 2.
Okay.
And it still kept that top down for the most part, but everything is like in 3D models, and then it had special like camera angles, so that's how it brought you into the 3D world. And then it carried on to Metal Gear Solid 2 and just kind of polished things up a bit. And by the time you got to the subsistence version of Metal Gear Solid 3, that's when it was like full open camera. It's like, okay, now it's evolved, now it's here. So I guess it's more of a gradual process, but that's my answer after Mario and Zelda.
Okay,
Well,
that's a good answer as well.
Forgive me, I'm
Very
not
popular franchise.
I've only played Metal Gear, I believe Solid. That was the first one on the
PS1,
the PS1. Yes, my friend had a PlayStation 1. So okay.
So I don't, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about the Metal Gear franchise except for what I've learned from guests on Party Chat and Open Mic. I do plan to play through the franchise at some point, and when I do get to that point, I'm going to talk to someone who's an expert and be like, hey, what's the best way to play each version of the game? But I was looking at the retro achievements for them recently, and I saw like Metal Gear Subsistence and Metal Gear some other subtitle, and I was like, is there a difference between Subsistence and is there like two different versions of the same game, and one is just like has no subtitle and the other one has Subsistence as a subtitle, or is it just that's just the subtitle for that game?
So that's the big difference with the camera that I'm talking about. So you had the original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and that still kept the same kind of top down. You kind of had a bit of a fixed camera, but you could kind of peek around a bit.
Okay.
And then once it got to Subsistence, that's when you got the full
version of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yes, so that's where you got the full free camera. They tweaked some other stuff in the game. It had a full bonus disc, which included the MSX Metal Gears, the first two, as well as like a secret theater, which had a bunch of like goofy cutscenes, and then a crossover with Ape Escape called Snake versus Ape.
I know of that one because I've seen that one listed in list videos before of like some of the craziest crossovers, Metal Gear and Ape Escape. So, okay. So Subsistence is basically the same game as the original one, just with some tweaks to it.
It's so I think there's some tweaks like AI and some balancing of that, but the biggest difference is the overhaul in the camera.
Okay, but like the levels are still essentially the same. It's just the camera. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for clearing that up because I saw these different like names of the games and I was very confused. So I'm glad to finally talk to someone who knows what the difference is between these, like clear them up for me. So excellent. So Melee said that Mario 64 needs to either be played on original hardware or tinker with your emulator ROM set. Well, the closest good feeling was with the PS5 controller, but N64 controller is so built around that game and the Switch collection is awful.
Okay, look up Super Mario 64 Plus. That is the definitive way to play.
Oh. write that down. Super Mario 64 Plus. Write that down to take a look at it later. So, all right. So, as I mentioned, the inspiration for this question basically came from when I was playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I played through both of them recently because I've been playing a lot of Zelda. I wanted to get through a bunch of Zelda games before I played Twilight Princess for Wii achievements, and that's where the idea for this topic came from. But I did have to. There's one that I like more than that. It's probably no surprise to anyone who knows me, like even in the slightest, because this is my second favorite franchise of all time. And it probably also doesn't help that it skipped the N64 generation, went from Super Nintendo to GameCube. But I think the best transition of all time from 2D to 3D was Super Metroid to Metroid Prime. Also, given that Metroid Prime is one of my top 5 games of all time. So the Metroid franchise is definitely my number one pick because Metroid Prime is a nearly flawless game. The only way that they made it better with the remaster is adding the modern controls so you don't have to play with the tank controls.
Funny, I have kind of the inverse approach to that. It's like I love that it looks gorgeous, but I played the original, like the 1.0 version so much that it's a 9.9. It would be a 10 if they reintroduced scan dashing as a feature.
Oh, yeah, the 1.0 version has that. The 1.1 and 1.2 versions, they took that out.
Right.
Which is annoying because in the retro achievement set for that game, there was an achievement for getting the space jump boots like first.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be able to scan dash. It's just being able to scan dash makes that achievement like 100 times easier, because if you don't have scan dash, you have to be like pixel perfect by locking on to the enemy behind the first door, and you have to walk backwards and do it without being able to see where you're going.
Yeah.
So scan dashing is an excellent feature that is a bummer that they took out. But fortunately, in both the Wii Metroid Prime Trilogy and in Metroid Prime Remastered, not exactly scan dashing, but they did add the spring ball in, which wasn't in the game initially.
Scan dashing also lets you skip the first boss in Chozo Ruins that would normally give you the missile launcher.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
So there's like a carving in the wall that you can scan. And if you stand on the edge, if you're like facing the machine, the leftmost edge of that arena,
Okay.
and then you scan dash to your left, you'll be able to fly far enough to hit the ledge where the missile is. And as
Without
long as you
triggering
don't
the
jump
boss fight?
onto so you'll skip the trigger for the boss fight as long as you don't step on the bridge. So you can pick up your missiles and then just continue on.
I
But
did
if you
not know
step on the
that.
bridge at any point, you'll still trigger the fight.
I was not aware of that. So cool. But yeah, I think they took the essence of 2D Metroid and transitioned that to 3D excellently. Had they had a N64 Metroid, I don't know if I would keep this as my answer, because from what I've seen, that there was an N64 version of Metroid in the works, but I don't know if it got scrapped or that's what eventually became Metroid Prime. But it's probably better that it did take that generation off, at least going into 3D. Because if they had stuck with a 2D Metroid game on N64, it probably would have been better in the long run, but it probably wouldn't have done as well at the time, because Metroid is already an under-selling franchise of Nintendo's.
Yeah.
It never really sells that big. And if they had kept it in 2D when everything going 3D was all the rage at the time, it probably wouldn't have done that well if they had stuck to 2D and just made it a really great 2D game. Although we probably would be like, oh, that was a really great game now. But at the time, they probably would be like, oh, why didn't they go 3D? So, but yeah, I think the Metroid franchise made an excellent transition to 3D. So that was mine. All right. And next topic for tonight is, I thought about this one like a long time ago, and I originally wrote it as a different, the way I put it in our notes when I sent them to you, I had it originally written down when I put this in my notes like a long time ago. And I wrote it something along the lines of like, which studios games have gotten better with every entry. But I was like, that's a bit too restrictive, because there's not any, much less. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's subjective. But there's not a whole lot of studios that you could say that about. So I made it a little bit less restrictive and just made it, what studio do you think has the best track record? So, Chirik, do you have what studio do you think has the best track record?
Let me do a coin toss to see which one I want to answer with real quick.
I have 2 written down as well, but one of them, the studio only has 2 games, so they haven't really had that much time to screw things up. So that's I'll talk about that one first, but my other one has been around for a long time, and I think they have an excellent track record.
So one, I've never heard anything bad about any of these games, but it's very much like one that you probably wouldn't think of is Humongous Entertainment.
At least if it is the studio I think you're talking about, I only learned about this studio literally like last week. So let me see if the studio I'm thinking about is the one that you're talking about. Tell us what games are from the studio.
Okay, so most people recognize Humongous Entertainment for like Putt Putt, Pajama Sam, Freddy Fish, things like that.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
They also are the ones who put out Backyard Sports. And I know people in real life to this day who swear by Backyard Baseball.
I never played any of those, but I do remember seeing them all the time. So I didn't realize that was because someone actually just mentioned, it might have been Nightmare or somebody, but mentioned in chat during one of my games, they said something about Humongous Games. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. And they're like, oh yeah, it's Freddy Fish and Putt Putt and stuff. I'm like, oh, I know of those games, even though I never played them. But I did not know that they also did the Backyard Sports games.
Yeah. And so, and the Backyard Sports has had a bit of a revival too. Like they ported, what was it, Baseball 97, which was like their big one. Then they also did a football and a hockey, and they're developing I don't know if it's Humongous doing this anymore, but there's a 3D Backyard Baseball in development.
Okay. So on the Backyard Sports games, I remember seeing like the cover of it. I don't think I ever actually saw any like stills or video of the game. So I thought it was a 3D game, but am I wrong about that? It's more of a 2D game.
It is more of a 2D game. I think the most recent one, and it might even be out, I'm not sure. But yeah, for the most part, they're in 2D.
Okay. So you got a fan in chat there. Rocker Dude says, Humongous Putt Putt was my jam in kindergarten. So I know I would have liked those games when I was a kid as well. It's just I didn't know about them. So I never played any of them. My only exposure to like Freddy Fish and Putt Putt is when it happens to come up on Steam Roulette over on the Melee Games channel.
I had Freddy Fish as a kid, the first one. And yeah, it's I think it also had a demo. Oh, I had that, and I also had a spin-off of Pajama Sam called Sockworks, which is more of a puzzle game.
Okay.
But to go back a bit, there is a new Backyard Baseball. It's being developed by Mega Cat Studios. So I guess they have the license, or Playground Productions, whoever. But that is coming out July 9th for anybody who's looking forward to that.
All right. Well, cool. And you got Amon Ross coming in over on the Twitch side as well. What's up, Amon Ross? Saying moo. Moo to you too, sir. Glad to see you as always. And Kay says that Jeremy Soule, as in Oblivion, Skyrim, etc. I don't actually know that name, but he did the music for a bunch of Humongous games. That's where he got his start.
No kidding.
Cool stuff. Yeah. So, Humongous. That is definitely not something I would have expected to hear.
I've never heard a bad thing about Humongous. I mean, like, people make fun of Putt Putt, but this is like 30-year-olds playing it, you know?
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, good stuff. Ryan, what about you? Do you have a studio that you think has the best track record?
Yeah, I do. And Kay actually alluded to it. I'm gonna have to go with Bethesda.
I had a feeling.
I'm just gonna have to go with Bethesda. They have Fallout 3. Yes, they did not really work on Fallout New Vegas. That was an offshoot. So I'll give them like maybe quarter of a point. But they have Oblivion, which was one of the very first video games that I ever played on the PlayStation 3. I love Oblivion. I think Skyrim is very good, but I think Oblivion was definitely better.
I love them both, but I do like Skyrim more.
You know, and so even on top of that as well, Fallout 4 was extremely well received. It's not my favorite Fallout game. There's some controversy around that. Even with Fallout 76, the extremely dog crap launch that they had, the limp dick launch, as somebody who's played it from the beginning, I preferred the world being a lot more open and kind of like vacant of people. It made it more interesting for me personally, but since they've adapted things and developed things and put NPCs and quests, it has become drastically better by almost everybody who plays it. So I wish I could say BioWare. I wish I because I love Knights of the Old Republic. KOTOR 2 is again not really BioWare. It's kind of an offshoot, much
Yeah,
like
Obsidian, just like New Vegas.
much like New Vegas. Which so I love
Yeah,
me some
it's like, I want to say
Obsidian.
BioWare as well because how much I love Mass Effect, but
Yeah,
with Andromeda not being that great, the recent
Nope.
Dragon Age being not
Yeah.
great, I definitely can't say BioWare.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to say BioWare, but I think as it stands on a modern in a modern place, Bethesda is definitely doing better than a lot of franchises that we loved as kids. And again, I love
That's
BioWare.
fair.
So because Mass Effect is one of my favorites. Neo knows that. You know, Knights of the Old Republic is one of my favorite franchises. It's just they've become so limp wristed and just blah.
You while we're on the topic of Bethesda, did you play any of Starfield?
I have not played Starfield. I know that Starfield was a giant fart in the wind. So I'm not.
It's in my backlog. I will be playing it at some point, but I don't have thoughts on it yet. But I will at some point.
Yeah, no, I know that a lot of people didn't register well with them. It is in my backlog as well, and I would love to give
You got a big update just last week.
Yeah, so I would rather wait for them to pluck everything out of it they can to try to make it better, kind of like Fallout 76. So at least Fallout 76 is functioning and people are enjoying it now. They're coming out with endless updates. I think they realize where they really fucked the heck up. I slightly censored that. For the language. So it's just I can't pick anybody. I don't know anybody else. Like EA used to make games that I like.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I don't want to play. It's like, and yeah, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is from BioWare, but it's like, well, you just took the three most popular games some of the most popular games you've ever had, and you kind of pooed in the bed a little bit on those too, because it's like, well, we don't want to objectify the women like we used to on the original standard discs. It's like, dude, like, who cares? It's a video game. They're not real people.
Yeah.
Stop it.
All right. I had a suspicion that might be your answer.
Yeah, that's the best answer I had, dude.
And
Like,
it's not bad because Fallout 76 wasn't that well regarded, but it also it definitely wasn't at launch, but I've heard nothing but much better stuff about it since then.
Well, yeah, and they tried something insanely new, and it's like going, okay, well, you tried something drastically different of the same franchise, and people want going, I don't really care for it,
and
which is fine.
I've heard a lot of mixed, where a lot of people say it sucks, but I've heard more so the general consensus is more of it's kind of bland, middle of the road, but it's not bad. But I've heard from a number of people who freaking love the game as well. So.
I've heard.
I don't think that's too much of a mark against Bethesda's where I was going with that.
No, and I would agree with that. I've heard somewhere in the neighborhood of like, it's getting better, like kind of like Fallout 76 did, but also at the same time, if you wanted to categorize that, there's some really limp-wristed, just bad decisions that are still kind of remain in the stories.
That could be. So I will figure that out once I get to playing it in 100 years from now.
yeah, well, dude, my backlog, Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. So, as for my answer to this question, I think I have objectively the correct answer because I don't think that they have legitimately any bad games. Some that I haven't really cared for as much, but I don't think by any means there's bad games. So I don't think there's anything that this studio, correct me if I'm wrong once I tell you what studio it is, but I don't think that they have done any bad games. And I know if James was here, he'd be proud of me for this one, but id Software,
Ayo.
Is there such thing as a bad Doom game? My least favorite one is Doom 3, but I still wouldn't say it's a bad game. The Wolfenstein games, probably the biggest black mark against them. And I haven't played it, so I don't know from personal experience. I just didn't hear that much glowing review about it. Were the Rage games. That's probably the worst thing.
Oh, the Rage games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, those things are tedious.
I heard that they weren't bad, but they weren't great. But I don't think tell me, anyone out there in chat, is there such thing as a bad id game? Because I think they're all at least good, if not excellent. So my answer is id, because I don't think they've done a bad game.
I'll give you
Quake games as well. I forgot to mention Quake.
I'll give you the Rage games are mediocre. Think of the majority of the Rage 2 when it came out too. Like the best way to put it is Another Settlement needs your help for like a vast majority of the game. And again, that's a knock against Fallout 4. So I'm not gonna. But no, I actually, the Doom games, pretty much every single Doom game has been extremely popular. I know Doom 3 took the franchise in a different direction. It's actually my favorite Doom game because it's scarier.
I know it's Dude's favorite Doom game as well.
So, it's creepier, which I think Doom should be creepier. Because
I don't care for it that much because I don't like creepy. But
yeah,
I don't think it's a bad game by any means. It's just
I don't
think favorite.
I don't think there's a single Doom game that has ever flopped. Even Doom 3 maybe didn't have the most stellar sales, but it was still, there's a massive hype around it. So no, I think you actually do have the epitome of that one.
Yeah, and just because it even if it did flop, that doesn't mean it's a bad game, because there are good games that don't sell and there are terrible games that do sell. So
no, I know it didn't flop.
Mean nothing for quality.
Because quite frankly, when I was back when you had to buy hard copies, and there wasn't Steam, I had to buy my first hard copy of Doom 3, and it was hard to find. I have I never actually beat the I have it. It's in my other bookshelf out near my entryway. But I have my copy of Doom 3 on original Xbox, but I never actually played and beat that one. Because the reason why I got it on original Xbox is because it had online co-op for the campaign. So this was already in the era of the 360. So a buddy who was like, "Hey, go get Doom 3 and we'll play it together over Xbox Live." And so I got Doom 3 used from GameStop. I don't remember how much. I'm pretty sure it was pretty cheap. And he got a copy as well. And we were planning on playing through the co-op campaign. And we were able to get in a match together, or like get into a level together, but the performance was so bad. We played it for like 5 minutes and we're like, this is not going to work. And we gave up because the lag was so horrendously bad. I remember when it first came out too, because I had, I was in the military and I didn't have anything that would play it other than my computer. Seeing the graphics then, I was like, whoa.
It's very impressive. It's one of those best looking original Xbox games.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. It was gorgeous. Actually, I have it downloaded on my computer. It is going to be, because I've been looking for something to replace the Thing remastered. Again, another game, PlayStation 2, that I loved. And I replayed it from front to back. Doom 3 is going to be my Fright Day night. And it's a play on, kind of like Friday night, but because I play a scary game, and Doom 3 I'm going to be starting this Friday, so I'm pretty excited about that. So if anybody wants to watch it, it'll be on a computer that's going to have the most beautiful graphics that they're only one generation above me now. There's only the 5000 RTX series, but I have a 4000. But no, it's I think it still holds up. I really do. Well, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out on Steam. So
yeah, I played the first couple of levels of Doom 3 like 2 or 3 times, and it just hasn't captured me. So I am going to go through and beat it at some point, and I will probably get all the achievements on the... It's the Xbox One version. I don't know if it has a subtitle to it. I don't think it's like the BFG edition because I think that was like the Xbox Live Arcade version. But I am gonna play it and beat it at some point. I just don't know when.
I need to give it a fair crack because like I've tried a couple of times and I'm probably not, I'm probably isn't a hot take, but it's like, it feels too slow paced compared to the rest of Doom. And I think that's what I keep getting hung up on. I don't mind that it's scarier. I don't even mind like the like reloading kind of thing, but it's just like I'm moving too slow. And then it's just like, okay, I just want to go back and just wreck shop in Doom
rip
1
and
or
tear.
2016.
You're not the Doom guy though. You're just random Space Marine, so it does
This
kind
is
of make
true.
sense.
Yeah, it's definitely darker, so that's why you have to go slower because it is more of a horror style game.
They have
So
a
like
flashlight, for
Right.
goodness
yeah,
sake.
you start with basically a flashlight and it's like, and it's literally like a spotlight in the dark.
Right. And that's just that genre of game has just never been my forte. So I really need to make some effort to actually push through it.
Oh, I hate scary games, but also
Yeah.
at the same time, weirdly, I love them. I don't know. So that's why I created a freaking, it just didn't make any sense. I don't know. I like the thing remastered. Yeah, it had it was a little more arcadey, but the original one, but still it had jump scares that kind of got you. But yeah, Doom 3 was kind of my introduction to a true horror game, other than Silent Hill before that.
Yeah, I don't like scary either, which is also why I'm not a huge fan of it. But I will say that what little bit I've played of Doom 3 is very similar to Resident Evil 4 in that because that's the only Resident Evil game I've played a decent amount of. I expected it to be a really scary game, and it's definitely scarier than the other Doom games, but I still wouldn't call it like a scary game, even though it could very well be classified as a survival horror. But it's spooky, but I wouldn't really say it's scary. So
I thought Resident Evil 4 got into the more arcadey kind of horror genre, which
it was definitely more of an action horror, just like
okay, because I
which
think
I was like, I got
really
through most of
leaned
the
into it.
game, and I was like, this is not really.
was that
scary
5?
at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 got even amped that up more. So yeah.
Okay, because my favorite Resident Evil game is 2. I think that was probably, and again, maybe because I was a kid when I played it, on the original PlayStation, but it scared out of me. Seriously, like my friends are like, "Oh, dude." The only thing that has scared us more is when we started playing Silent Hill 2, and we were like going, "This is really screwed up."
A couple other id games, I'm looking at the my Xbox achievements, and I don't know if these were originally by id, but I think that they were. But the Heretic and Hexen, were those originally id as well? You guys either know?
If not, it was Raven.
Because
I've heard of Hexen, I've never heard of the other one.
Because they were recently released as a combined remaster, published by Bethesda, but developed by Night Dive and Raven. I just don't know if the original games were done by id or just the remaster was.
Quick Wiki Dive is saying it was developed by Raven but published by id.
Okay, so it would count. So, but yeah, I just recently played through those as well, and they're just like Doom but with magic. So, yeah, I think id doesn't have maybe, like I said, games that I prefer less than others, but I wouldn't say there are any bad id games. That's why I think id is one of, if not the video game studio with the best track record. And they've been around a long time too.
If you want my honest opinion, I think you win. I think you no, seriously, I'm being honest. I love me some Bethesda, but I think that what you just said, because definitely the Doom franchise from start to finish has been spot on. And and then you have the Quake games on top of that too. So
yeah. So Jeff from Sons and Shadows just showed up in chat saying, "Hail, what's up, Jeff? Good evening to you, buddy. Hope you're doing well." And Kay came in with also a great answer, and I did not even think about this, but Valve is also an excellent answer because there are no bad Valve games either. They just don't have enough games because they created Steam. They're like, we're gonna make our money that way. We're done with making games.
They certainly have no bad third games in any given series.
That is true because they don't have any third games.
That's not nice. You might have just insulted a Mass Effect 3 as well, by the way.
Oh no.
Well, that wasn't by Valve, so that doesn't count.
No, he's saying that they don't have any bad number 3 games. So, which
Oh,
kind of
he's saying that Valve doesn't
Valve
have
doesn't know.
any bad number 3 games because they've never made a game that is a third game in the franchise. All their games end at 2. Left
They
4 Dead 1 and
haven't?
2,
Really?
Portal 1
Yeah.
and 2, Half-Life 1 and 2, Team Fortress 1 and 2. They've never had a third game in a franchise.
I
So that was
didn't
the
realize
joke.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Val-
they've had like
okay,
it's a
expansions
meme.
and stuff, but
It's
they've
a
never
meme that-
had like a 3.
Yeah,
I
it's-
prefer my joke though, the one where he's insulting Mass Effect 3.
oh,
So
of course.
because
Yeah,
you know,
pushing my buttons.
well, I mean, why am I here?
This has been
Yeah.
my second and last time on Party Chat.
I mean,
Yeah,
Cherika would probably agree that GoldenEye is better than Perfect Dark. So
It is the one that I have played more over the two.
Yeah, you have actually played Perfect Dark though. Is
I
that
have
right?
a little bit, but I got lost. I got lost in the first stage because I think I just didn't know the buttons yet, and so it's
Okay.
like, okay, open the elevator, please.
All right. Well, because as I mentioned earlier, that's the thing that comes up basically every party chat. Because I love GoldenEye, but Perfect Dark is better. But Ryan hasn't played Perfect Dark, so his opinion is invalid until he has played it. And as I mentioned, I'm going through GoldenEye on Retro Rewind on Wednesday nights right now. And once I beat it, I'm immediately following that up with Perfect Dark. So
By the way, there's a recomp of Perfect Dark. It runs very well.
I bet it does, but there's no achievements for it, so I'm not playing that version. I'm playing the original. On retro achievements, of course, but I will have to give that a look at some time and play the recomp. That I did not know there was a recomp of Perfect Dark, so thank you for putting that on my radar. Putting that down.
Time Splitters. Eh?
Dark.
K says Time
Recomp.
Splitters greater than GoldenEye. GoldenEye greater than Perfect Dark.
No,
So K's pissing in your Cheerios too.
she is. Time Splitters is also great because that's also like the spiritual successor to both of those games. I could see that the argument could be made because Time Splitters was on a newer generation of hardware. But GoldenEye is not better than Perfect Dark. I can
Yes, it
accept the argument that Time Splitters is better than Perfect Dark, but GoldenEye is not.
Bro,
Absolutely no.
You put it to the Discord chat. They asked you
That was not what is best. I said, what do you want
What
me to play
game
next? Those are
people-
two different topics.
what game do people want you to play? And it was GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. And you said GoldenEye overwhelmingly won. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
I never said that GoldenEye wasn't more popular, but popular doesn't mean better. Yeah, Rocket Dude says Perfect Dark versus GoldenEye, round 15.
Do you see how he gets so angry?
But yeah, Kay had an excellent answer. Valve is great as well because they have not had any bad games either. So I did not even think about Valve, but that is an excellent answer. Oh, but that was what I was going to say. Is the meme on the internet that Valve can't count to 3, kind of like that song he mentioned earlier? I can't count to 4. Valve can't count to 3, which I would love them to, because Half-Life 3 and Portal 3 would be some of my most anticipated games of all time if they were ever actually going to come out.
Yeah, I never realized that. There wasn't there that Half-Life VR game?
Half-Life Alyx, but that's not technically Half-Life 3.
Yeah, what the hell
Actually,
was that?
It's this weird, like, interquel, essentially.
I saw people play it. I didn't understand it.
I've not played it. Sherrick just posted it on Twitter.
Settle this once
We
and for
all know what everyone's going to answer because everyone played GoldenEye, but people did nowhere
then
near
why
as
are
many
you
people
so
played
angry?
Perfect Dark. Because it doesn't get the recognition it deserved, because it was a better game, but it didn't sell as well. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a better game.
Stop being a grumpy bear.
Anyways. All right. So
You're
next...
gonna lose again.
Oh, wait, are people actually
I
voting
will
on it?
die on this hill as many times as it takes, because just because GoldenEye was more popular doesn't mean it was a better game.
Bro, you're not dying on the hill. Your corpse keeps getting shot, and you're well in the afterlife. And everybody's like going, the hell is that? Oh, he likes Perfect Dark better than GoldenEye.
There
Shoot
is
him.
no argument on earth that will ever change my mind on this topic. I will go to the grave with Perfect Dark is better than GoldenEye. I love them both. I've played a crap load of both of them. So
I'm just saying, at this point, that hill you've died on, your body is being molested over and over again
that is
for the rest of humanity.
Very true. Anyways.
Might be the first time I've ever used the molested on a gaming chat show.
First
Okay.
time.
Okay, says Perfect Dark plays better. Thank you. James Bond is cooler IP. I wouldn't argue against that either. All right. Next topic on the agenda for tonight was this was a topic that was inspired by a demo I played for Metroidvania Monday, December, so a few months ago. And this is, was there ever a game you were excited for until you played the demo and you lost most, if not all, interest in the game? So you might not have an answer to this one because demos are not really much of a thing anymore. Unfortunately, they have kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
But I did just recently have a game that I was looking forward to, and then I played the demo. I'm like, I am going to play the full game eventually. It's just I basically lost all interest in playing it. It's the reason why I'm going to play it is because it's a Metroidvania, and I will force myself through it, just like I did with Hollow Knight, even though I did not like that game. So I'll wrap this one up with what game I'm referring to at the end. But curious from either of you guys if you ever had a game where the demo made you lose interest in the game.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, just let me go first because I'm not sure if this one counts. Is because it was supposed to be the new Silent Hill game or something like that. And this was like, I don't know. God, how long ago was this? That PT demo? Wasn't that supposed to turn
it? You were going to say that.
What wasn't that supposed to turn into a Silent Hill game? And I'm like,
it was supposed to become Silent Hills, plural, and then that got scrapped.
Yeah, and I didn't understand it. And at the same time, I'm like, why am I stuck in this house? Like, oh, this doesn't feel anything like Silent Hill. So I was like, I don't understand. Is it? I thought at the same time, I'm like, is this a joke? Did somebody like just make a demo and they said it was supposed to be like the next Silent Hill game? It never made sense to me. I played it. It was creepy. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't match with the dynamics of Silent Hill. And then all of a sudden, it was just dead.
If I remember correctly, I think that was the project that was being headed up by Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, which is why it was really effing weird.
I think that's true.
I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was Guillermo del Toro. Yeah. So I didn't understand it. And I'm like, I don't understand how this falls. Because I've played all the Silent Hill games as far as I can. 1, 2, 3, to 4. So Silent Hill 3, The Room, Silent Hill Homecoming. I don't think there was a 5. If there's a 5, I can't remember the name.
It's funny that you have this opinion of PT because I never played it because it was the only way you could get it was, it was a digital only download on PS3.
Yeah, I think so.
They delisted it. So if you didn't get it at that time, there's no way to get it anymore. And the only way now would be to, get a hold of a PS3 that actually had it installed.
Mm-hmm. I remember. Yeah, it was.
So it's like this urban legend essentially that's impossible to find.
Yeah, it was definitely.
I just never understood. No, you're good. I just never understood. I was like, I don't understand where they're coming from with this. How is this Silent Hill? But anyway, so go ahead, Sher. Sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say I remember it was actually PS4.
Oh, PS4. Okay.
And yeah, it was. I didn't download it myself, but one of my friends had it, and he brought it over and playing through, and it was just this. Basically, it was just like a hallway simulator, but every loop you went through, it just got weirder and weirder until there was like a fetus in the sink. And it's like all the symbolism. What is it supposed to be? And then never found out.
And also at the same time, I think because the staircase went from the front door up. If you went to the left past the staircase to the very far room that was on the left, there was a TV in there. And I think if you played it all the way through, that's where ultimately like something got you from behind and there was like this scream or something and it faded to black. You were meant to die basically. But yeah, I remember the fetus, but I'm pretty sure it's like because the TV was doing the static thing, it was very loud. And then all of a sudden you heard this scream behind you. I don't know. It was so strange. I don't know. I still don't know what to this day, what the hell that was.
Right. And like, I remember at a certain point too, because you hear this radio broadcast and there's a certain loop where that broadcast is still going, but the fetus is talking with the broadcast.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
So where I was going with that is that it's funny that you have this kind of negative image of this because I legitimately every single time I've ever heard PT reference, it's like up on this pedestal, like this holy grail of like horror games. I've never heard a single like bad thing about it. So it's funny that you have this opposite opinion of it, and you were interested in this next Silent Hill game. Then you played this playable teaser, which is what PT stands for, and then what kind of lost interest in it because it was very different from what you would expect for a Silent Hill game.
Did they realize it was supposed to be the next Silent Hill game, or they just thought it was?
I don't think that at the time. This is what I've all heard, secondhand, because I know nothing about Silent Hill and I never had a PlayStation. But I think at the time there was nothing being said that it was tied to the Silent Hill franchise. It was just that's what kind of came out later. I don't know if they were ever advertising it as this is a demo for the next Silent Hill. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of the impression that I got. It was they kind of just put it out there, and then later on they're like, "Oh yeah, this is tied into the Silent Hill franchise." I think that's kind of what happened.
That might make sense. I don't know. I played it pretty early on, but I heard that the rumors that because again, big Silent Hill fan, and I've heard that when it came out, so I downloaded it, and it was on the PlayStation 4. And I mean, after I played it, I just deleted it because I was like, this is just stupid. I don't understand what the hell this is.
Oh, the other thing that I do know about that is that the twist or whatever is that the ghost that's like haunting you or you're tracking or whatever. I don't know what the point of it was. But the twist was that ghost or whatever is always right behind you. But when you turn, you can't see it. So the revelation is that it's always right behind you. And that's what freaks people out from what I heard.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, too, like you'd walk in the door, the stairways would be going straight up, and then of course you'd have the hallway on the right. You always kept going down the hallway on the right, and it would like loop back around, and you're like, "Oh, what the freak, dude?" But it would loop into like I think different rooms in the house. But yeah, if I remember correctly, because I did complete it. It was because the radio thing. You went into that room with the TV in it, and it was static, and it was like screaming in your ears, right? And then all of a sudden, there was an actual scream in your ears, and I think you actually turn around, and that's when you see something that flashes really quick.
That could be. So, Melee K says the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo for me. Was excited for it until I played the Rebirth demo. I'm sorry to hear that because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I haven't played Final Fantasy, but I know how much Jason, my top 5 co-host, loves all of the Final Fantasy VIIs in all their forms, and Nightmare's here as well. Good evening, Nightmare. I mentioned you earlier for one of our earlier topics, so I definitely recommend at least going back and catching the first topic because we were talking about licensed games, and I think you'll like one of my answers. So good to see you, Nightmare. So Jarek, sounded like you also had something there at the tip of your tongue on a game you were interested in until you played the demo.
Yes, it wasn't necessarily a demo, but the game itself was very short.
Okay.
So earlier this year, actually, it was about on either end of March. Legacy of Kain, which is one of my favorite stories in gaming. At the beginning of the month, they had the remaster for Defiance.
Okay.
And it has its flaws, but it's an awesome game. I love it. It's the way that one played was kind of like Devil May Cry light.
Okay.
But the thing that got me really excited when it was announced was there was finally, after 20 years or whatever, there was going to be a new entry to the franchise. And it was, it was kind of like in a 2D Castlevania kind of style, which, okay, going back to 2D is a little weird, but it's still cool. And the art looked pretty good. And it was going to be kind of a prequel of sorts where it looked like it was going to be Kain building his empire with Raziel. And I was just so excited. I'm like, heck yeah, let's do that. Time finally comes. Ascendance is released, which is at the end of March. And starts off, I don't even remember the names of the new characters because, frankly, I do not care to devote any memory to it. But basically, it was this new character. It was this female vampire who you didn't really know anything about because she was like brand new. And then there's this other ethereal guy who's helping her out because Mobius is like messing with her in some way. but it's like, whatever. Okay, we'll figure that out later. Maybe she's like the opposition to Kane and Raziel, and we're kind of playing both sides. Cool, whatever, right? So game goes on. And it goes on. It's like, it's fine. Okay. Gameplay is like, yeah, whatever. It's cool. And then story goes further along. And then it's just, you find out what her real intention is. And it's not that she's opposing Kane or anything. She kind of is trying to use him, but in such a way that it's starting to answer Nightmare's question. Yes. Long story short, she does hashtag girl boss to the point where she's like telling Kane where the bodies are for Raziel and his brethren in the Seraphan tomb. And just all of a sudden it's like, oh, Raziel, I'm your brother. Don't you remember? And Raziel's like, God bless the developers for getting back the original cast, but Michael Bell is too old to be playing young Raziel. It's very much like, okay, she's like, fucking sorry, like she's like, girl boss is like, oh, Kane, here's how you raise your army. And I'm like, what do you mean? This isn't no, and it's no. And then what got me the most towards the end, thank God it was at the end and it was just over quick, is, do you remember, have you ever played Soul Reaver, either of you?
I've never played it, and I never even heard of this franchise until a couple of years ago when I heard a lot of people are clamoring for like a remake or remaster of some of the old games because it's basically a dead franchise, and then the remake or remaster of one of them got announced for like last year, and everyone was all excited about it. And like, I put it on my wish list because of how much people were excited for this old franchise making a comeback, but I've never played it, and I know next to nothing about it.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't really know anything a whole lot about it either.
Okay, so I recommend the Soul Reaver remaster. It's an excellent game.
So on Steam?
Kane is basically like a vampire.
I'm sure it is.
I'm trying to think like the Reader's Digest version of this is like, okay, so basically Kane is like the scion of balance for the pillars of Nosgoth, which basically are the life force for the world. Kane has to sacrifice himself in order to keep the pillars in balance. He doesn't. So Nosgoth kind of goes to hell. He ends up building an empire on the back of that. Raziel is his first lieutenant and most loyal. They have a bit of a back and forth throughout the franchise. Anyways, back to this, where Girl Boss tells Kane, like, oh, here's where Raziel and company are. You can raise them to be your lieutenants. When Kane just finds that stuff himself. And it's like Raziel's like, okay, it's understandable he doesn't have a sister, but like the sister's trying to like gaslight him and shit. And it's just like, no. And so then it gets to Soul Reaver has a very iconic opening, a very beloved opening. And it does just completely tries to undo that, as if like, no, this isn't just happening, because eventually they find out the reasons for the intro throughout the rest of the series. That was supposed to happen. It wasn't just Kane being jealous. There was a reason for it. And they try to give her the credit. And I was just left so broken after that. It's like, oh God, this is what true suffering is. And then it's like, okay. And then like mysterious ethereal guy who disappeared for half the game comes back and is like, okay, time to go to the demon realm. What in the actual F is the demon realm? And I was just left.
You're not passionate about this at all.
I knew what true suffering was after 4 hours.
I actually have seen this back in the old gaming magazines, because I would get Electronic Gaming Monthly and stuff like that. Is this so the first and second game are good? Because there's a remastered version of both of them.
Yes. Okay. So they're splitting hairs a bit. They're technically the second and third in the series. The first game is Blood Omen. That one's more 2D, kind of Diablo looking. Okay. But everybody knows
Diablo.
Yeah, so you might appreciate Blood Omen. It's a little, the controls are a bit archaic, but it's still a really good story.
I see Legacy Kane, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered. I don't see the other one, the original game.
It's an unfortunate thing that just got tied up in some sort of copyright hell. So we'll be lucky if we ever see a remaster.
Okay, yeah,
They were PS2 games, right?
Blood Omen and Soul Reaver 1 were PS1.
Oh, PS1.
Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, and Defiance were PS2.
Okay. So Yeah, you're not passionate about this at all. I can tell.
Are they the same franchise?
Honestly, it's like whatever.
Yeah, they're all the same franchise.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know Blood Omen. I actually have both several of them saved. Sorry, I'm just like I'm always adding new games. I need to stop.
It's funny when you started talking about this game. I was like, I think I know the gist of this game because I saw a video just a few days ago from Skill Up, and he was talking about this game, and he was ripping it a new one. So I'm like, I think this is the game that Cherrick is talking about.
I'll just put it this way: I now fully understand the pain that Star Wars fans went through.
So
yeah, well, welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, I was able to deflect everything else because I love Star Wars, Star Trek, and all that. I was able to deflect everything else, keep everything I loved in a bubble. And then Legacy of Kain Ascendance came along and it pierced that bubble, man. It freaking hurt. I was depressed for the rest of the night. No lie.
So, just catch them a little bit on chat. Nightmare said, yeah, Final Fantasy Rebirth is Final Fantasy for people like us, meaning him and I, who aren't fans of turn-based games. But he still says that for us, Final Fantasy 16 is the best. I did just recently add it to my wish list because of you. So I've got my eye on it. Kay says Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is great, but Rebirth is very bloated. Yeah, Nightmare's like, did she girl boss? I knew it. Yeah, and he also says Neo never played Uncharted, which I never did, but I do want to play them at some point. I just never had a PlayStation, so
first three are excellent.
But
yeah, there's only the first three, and that movie was a bag of something.
Amen.
I enjoyed it, but I have no.
Get out of here! Kick yourself. You kick yourself now.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I enjoyed it, but I've never played the game.
What do you
so
like?
I have
Got a hard on for Tom Holland? You're like, Tom Holland, please touch my penis. It's not a fun movie. It sucks.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I enjoyed it.
Sorry, this is the hill I'm gonna die on right here. No, that movie was ass. It was just flat out ass. And there's only 3 Uncharted games.
But he says, yes, Neo has no nostalgia for Amy Hennig. Yeah, I've never played anything that she was ever involved with. So, and he also says,
poor Neo tonight.
He also says that Cherrick referencing Reader's Digest makes me think he's older than he sounds.
I'm an old soul, man.
Yeah, and quoting South Park, put a chick in it and make it lame and gay.
I said, put a chick in the linguine and make it fucking gay.
That
what a name!
That was really good.
Oh, it's really good.
That was spot on.
The F word, by the way. Yes. If I had an applause button, I would use it.
That was a really good Cartman. It said Blood Omen could probably use a remake if done right. And Kay says that Blood Omen is her favorite. And 4 of the game, Nightmare saying that the 5 Legacy Blood Omen games are on GOG. They may not be on Steam, but they're on GOG. So shout out to GOG.
Right. So I found Blood Omen 2. I have not found anything else other than that.
Yeah, Nightmare agrees with you on the Uncharted movie.
Oh no! Doesn't
now Uncharted.
Okay, there you go.
And yeah, he also says
you put your dick in your hand and you hold it.
But Melee's Kay said it's not even Silicon Knights doesn't count. What does Silicon Knights have to do with anything?
Silicon Knights developed Blood Omen.
Oh, I did not know that. I know Silicon Knights because, well, I didn't play it, but I know that they were involved with Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, which I've heard great things about that game. The only thing of theirs that I played and I was not a fan of, and I don't like them for it, was Too Human. So, yeah, sorry, Ryan, were you about to say something a minute ago?
Yeah, I was basically saying read Nightmare's comment. Right. Oh. You put your dick in your hand and you hold it because he got you on all fronts.
So my answer for this one that I alluded to at the beginning of the topic was I played this for Metroidvania Monday. I want to say it was back in December when I did my last demos stream, because every once in a while when I'm in between games, I'll do a stream where I stream a bunch of different Metroidvania demos. And one that had been announced as coming to Game Pass day 1 and it looked really interesting was Neo Memories in Orbit, and it looked really cool. and had a very interesting art style. And you play this little robot on this like space station. It's like, this is an interesting premise. I like it. I'm very interested in it. I'm looking forward to knowing more about it. And I played the demo for it, and I basically lost all interest in it. It's almost like, I'm not going to say a clone, but it is very similar to Hollow Knight in a lot of ways, which for a lot of people, that'd be a good thing. But I do not like Hollow Knight. And so the fact that this is Hollow Knight in a lot of ways did it no favors. So I will be playing it at some point. But when I played it on stream for that demo stream, I basically lost all interest in it. And I am not a huge fan of it. One of the big things that was a real giant middle finger right off the beginning of the game, like the first 10 minutes, is it does the thing that a lot of the Metroid games do, but in my opinion, Metroid does it correctly, is it gives you a little taste of what some of your power will be like, where you have, some decent equipment at the beginning of the game, and then for whatever reason you lose it and you're back to square one and you have to reacquire it. But by the time you get to the end of the game, you're way more powerful than you were in what was essentially the prologue. This game does kind of the opposite, but still the same thing. You start out with, I don't remember what it is, but you have instead of like a health bar where you have, like just like 100 HP or, just a bar where every hit takes off, some chunk of it. It does health pips like Hollow Knight does, where you start out with like essentially 3 HP and you can extend it to, not a whole lot. I think the most you can get after getting all of the mass shards in Hollow Knight was like 7, but you can equip certain charms that give you more than that. But Mio starts off with like 5 points of health or something, and then within like the first like 5 minutes of the game, it takes 2 of them away from you, and you're stuck at 3, or it might have been 6, and it takes you down to 4, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it takes health away from you, and you never get more than that by the end of the game. I've talked to people who have played it. You do get back to where you started, but you never get more than where you started, which I think is a giant FU to the players. Like, we're not going to give you more than what you started with. We're just going to take these things away arbitrarily, and you can eventually get back to where you were when you started. It's like, why not just start out with 3 and then make your way up to 5 over the course of the game? Why give us 5, take it away, and then make us earn it back? That just like completely was a huge insult to me as a player. And that really offset me from the game, as well as a number of other things. That's just the main thing that really just felt like the devs were, giving me the middle finger. So for me, it was Mio Memories in Orbit. I will play it at some point, and I've heard from a lot of my Metroidvania buddies that they really enjoyed it. But I'm the odd man out that doesn't like Hollow Knight, and a lot of them love Hollow Knight. It's like one of their favorite games ever, and which also makes sense on why they do enjoy Mio Memories in Orbit. Another thing that I didn't like is not only does it have the whole mechanic of losing your money when you die, which Hollow Knight has, at least in Hollow Knight, you can go back and recover it, which is just another, I was talking about this on Metroidvania Monday last night. I hate that mechanic of losing your money and then having to go back to your corpse to recover it. The corpse run, I despise that mechanic, and there's another reason why I don't like Hollow Knight, but at least you can go back and get your money. In Mio Memories in Orbit, when you die, your money is gone and you can't get it back. So if you have a lot of money and you die, well, you just wasted a huge chunk of time. So not a fan of this game. I'm not looking forward to play it, but I will at least beat it at some point. I don't know if I'll get all the achievements because I haven't actually looked at all the achievements in a long time, but I will at least beat the story eventually. I'm just not really looking forward to it because I was very put off by the demo. So that was the inspiration for this topic.
Can I actually say something on a positive level?
Yes.
Apparently, the Dino Crisis remake is on Steam now.
Really?
I didn't realize there was a remake.
Release date February 12th, 2026. I mean, it's past that. I mean, it looks gorgeous. That's good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I've never played any of the Dino Crisis games, but I would be more inclined to play them than Resident Evil because I like dinosaurs. Cool. I don't really like zombies. But
yeah, no, seriously, just put Dino Crisis. It's on there. I mean, I was like, whoa.
Nothing having to do with what we're talking about, but shout out to Dino Crisis.
Wish listing now.
Yeah, pretty much, everybody.
So, Nightmare saying, didn't Silicon Knights do the GameCube Metal Gear Solid 1 remake? I have no idea. Yeah, and talking about Silicon Knights, they're bankrupt and dead thanks to Epic because they got into a lawsuit with Epic. It had something to do with they used assets from Unreal Engine that they weren't supposed to or without paying, and then they tried to sue Epic for it not like living up to what it's supposed to do. And it's like when you're using this, illegally essentially, and they lost the lawsuit and they had to destroy all existing copies of Too Human. So the only way you can get you can buy it secondhand, of course, but you wouldn't be able to go out to the store and buy it. But I think you can get it for free digitally because of this lawsuit. So I was also happy about that because Dennis Dyack, who was the head of Silicon Knights, is a giant a-hole, and I think that serves him right. So did Epic pull an EA on them? Yeah. And it's complicated, but basically Silicon Knights sued them because they were promised features on what they were building, and then there was some copyright infringements. Yeah. I don't know the details of it, but yeah, something like that. Epic countersued and won and took them for everything. Yeah. So Unreal Engine crap, it's a mess. Sounds like a heart system, more or less. Yeah, it very much is. And yeah, we just don't like Souls-like, and I don't like Souls-like games. I have a number of them in my backlog that I haven't played yet, so there may be one that changes my opinion. But yeah, so the only Souls I have played a number of 2D Souls-likes that I wouldn't say I loved, but I enjoyed. But of the 3D Souls-like, which I think I've only played 2, the original, well, not the original, but Dark Souls Remastered and Fallen Order. I enjoyed Fallen Order for its gameplay. It is Disney Star Wars, so it's not real Star Wars, but it wasn't bad. But it's like a baby Souls-like. The only like proper Souls-like I played was Dark Souls Remastered, and I was not a fan of that. So, yeah. All right. And any last thoughts on demos that turned you off from the game?
No.
All right.
No, I don't want to go back down that road.
I was excited to find Dino Crisis Remastered on Steam. So from Capcom, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. One of those. I know that's one of those often mentioned Capcom, like dead Capcom franchises that people like, give us more Dino Crisis, because I've heard that Dino Crisis 3 was terrible. That's what I've heard. Speaking
of no threes, give me a Beautiful Joe 3, dang it.
That has come up on a couple of episodes before. I don't remember if it was Party Chat or Top 5, but it has been mentioned a few times. I do know some people who are fans of Beautiful Joe. I never played it, so I don't have an opinion.
Not am I saying try Code Veronica?
No, Code Vein. It's an anime Souls-like game. So
no idea what the fuck that is.
So
we're at the end of the stream. It's fine. The F word is fine. It's only in the first 5 minutes.
Well, that's not why I ask that.
I know. I'm just giving you crap, dude. I swear to Jesus, one of these days I'm gonna piss him off so much he's gonna swear the F word at me, and I'm gonna go finally.
Hey, there's Angry Canadian. What's up, Angry Canadian? He is. He just played Dino Crisis. I don't know if he played 3, but I know he played 1 and 2 recently, and he was a big fan of them. But Chet, what's up, Canadian? How's it going? And he's saying it's not a remaster. I think he's talking about Dino Crisis. He said, "God, you're such a boomer, Ryan." He is right about that, even though he used the wrong form of your.
No, I'm really not, because it looks better than the original game. I know what the original game looks like on the PS1, dude. What would you call it? A reskinning?
I don't know. I know nothing about it. So,
or is it a remake? Oh, do they do the remake? Angry Canadian, don't tell me they did the remake.
So, what's up, Canadian? Good to see you. Oh, I did also mention you earlier because we were talking about Mario Sunshine, and Canadian, since you're here,
highlight that comment now. Do it now.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. It's like I like to keep my panel streams, family friendly, but game streams are a different story.
Oh, so. Okay.
One of these days, I'm going to hear the phrase, "I'm going to stab you in the eye with an effing brick."
I need to start. I need to watch this GoldenEye streams. I'm gonna start doing that.
GoldenEye was a lot of fun. No, it hasn't been pissing me off at all yet. But Metroidvania Monday, the last few episodes, Blast Brigade, I have not been enjoying. So I've been very frustrated with that game. But yeah, Canadian, we were talking about Mario Sunshine. I know you're a huge fan of Sunshine, so since you're here, is that your favorite Mario game? I was curious if that. I know how much you love it. I just wasn't sure if that's your favorite Mario. So I would like to know that. So all right. With that, we'll get into our final topic for tonight. And as usual, that is talking about our favorite game of the next year. And tonight we are talking about 2021, which this is the first year in a while where I didn't really have a whole lot of options to pick from. So, but we'll go around the horn here and give us what your favorite game, just your one favorite game from 2021 is. And then after we each give our one favorite, we'll go back around and talk about any others that came out in 2021 that you were a big fan of. So, Ryan, what about you? What was your favorite game from 2021?
Resident Evil: The Village.
Village. That's 8, right?
Yes.
Or is that no? Village is 7, right?
I thought it was 8.
I don't know.
I just call it The Village.
Resident Evil Village.
The reason I say that is
Someone's
because
a Resident Evil fan. Clarify that for us.
I think it at least gets back to the somewhat of the original franchise, because I don't care for the arcadey kind of styles. I prefer more, well, Resident Evil is meant to be horror.
Okay.
So it just it was a lot. I mean, there's still some very action arcade kind of like dynamics and stuff like that, but I think at least the storyline wise, they tried to actually kind of tone it down, bring it back. And if 5 was actually the one, because I can't remember off the top of my head, I thought it was 4. Whichever one that took it from a survival horror to a horror action series.
Yeah, I haven't played much of them, but from what I know of just, seeing the franchise, I know that like 1, 2, and 3 are definitely more in the horror than the action horror. 4, 5, and 6 are definitely increasingly more action horror. And then with 7, I know that they kind of went back to the horror roots, and 7, 8, and 9 have definitely been more so of the horror type gameplay rather than the scary. Except 9, I think it has both, where when you play as Leon, it's more of an action game. But when you're playing as Grace, it's more of a survival horror, from what I hear.
Well, I mean, it just, regardless of the fact, like you bastardize a franchise that was built on something, and I guess you could kind of say that for Doom 3. There was a franchise built on something, and they took it in a different direction. Is that my favorite one? Yeah, it is. From Resident Evil, it went back to it. Went from one thing to something else, and they bounced back. And quite frankly, I just think that the action horror games are just, they're ass. They're trash. Nobody cares, dude. Like, I want something that like kind of startles you. I want it to be eerie. Like, Resident Evil is zombies and monsters and things that want to rip your face off. Resident Evil should be more like the Dark Pictures anthology series than it is like anything. Then
I haven't played those, but I'm assuming those are more on the scary side as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're more horror survival. So you see, there you go, Nightmare. I mean, look, and it's fine. I really don't dislike Doom 3. I love 2016 and Eternal. I hate those. Here. I think they're giant pieces of shit.
I think Doom Eternal is one of the best first-person shooters ever made.
Doom Eternal is my favorite Metroid Prime.
They're just a bag of ass that, quite frankly, vomits enemies at you, and it's just a slaughter fest. And it's meant to be just gory and not scary.
Other
it's
than
the same
Doom
reason
3,
that I hate
none of the Doom games are scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, because but the thing is, though, is that they also Bethesda took it in a different direction, and I would actually knock Bethesda on this one a little bit, because quite frankly, Doom 2016 and Eternal, it's not meant to be a gore fest. Yes, there are people who love gore franchises with horror movies, but when it gets over the top and you like literally like slice somebody's head off and their head is almost literally at the back of their neck and they're still screaming, I'm like, dude, are you serious? It's just meant to be shock and horror, and it's just comical. Doom, but Nightmare's right. Doom is not a horror franchise. Yeah. So I mean, but flipping that, because yes, they did with Doom 3, and they went back to their roots. Ryan has the worst Bethesda takes. No, I really don't, dude. I've probably played more Bethesda games than you have. Quite frankly, the long and the short of it is, Resident Evil is not an arcade style horror shoot 'em up. It's just not. So that was my whole entire point. You hate Doom 3 for the same reason that I hate the Resident Evil games. They try to make it fun to kill zombies, and it's like Doomish.
Yeah. Understandable. So yeah, I know with 7 they went back to the horror route. So 7 and 8 I hear are like very scary, but I will never
I'm
play
gonna
them.
enjoy streaming Doom 3 this Friday to piss everybody the fuck off. It's gonna be so many angry people. It's not a Doom game. I'm like, I don't care.
But yeah, Nightmare and I agree on the Doom thing because Eternal and 2016. I haven't played Dark Ages yet, but I am looking forward to it. I think are some of the greatest FPSs ever, not just Doom games.
Doom: The Dark Ages is my favorite Captain America game.
It's not a Captain America game.
You have a shield and you throw it at enemies.
You throw your mighty shield, and anyone who opposes your mighty shield must yield.
No, Captain America, the First Avenger, the PlayStation 3 game, the one that actually introduced the actual shield dynamics for Captain America, the Winter Soldier, is a Captain America game. And I like to give Nightmare crap because he gives me shit about politics. So we give it back. It's fine.
Yeah. So
I will play those Doom games. I'll play Doom 2016 and Eternal and all that kind of stuff one of these days because you know what? I'm not always right. You know, I just
only human.
I'm only human. I'm human.
So touching back on the Dino Crisis, Canadian says it's not he says it's just an upgraded or upscaled PC port. There has never been a proper remake or remaster of Dino Crisis. Okay. Good.
Yeah, but it was done by Capcom. So what would you call it?
I don't know. But he talking about going back to the Mario part. He says Neo's always got my back with Mario Sunshine. It is his favorite 3D Mario and possibly his favorite Mario game. So says a lot because he's a huge Nintendo fan. So he loves his Mario. And Nightmare says that I should introduce Ryan to Slosh, who he's going to be on open mic on Thursday. So he says you guys could commiserate on Resident Evil. So I'll have to bring that up on open mic on Thursday because I only ever talked to Slosh in chats of other people's live streams. We haven't actually like talked I think we've been on a Melee Town Square once or twice, but we've never like had any like one-on-one conversation. So it'll be a fun chat on open mic on Thursday. All right. Cherk, what about you? What is your favorite game from 2021?
Metroid Dread, and I had a Simpsons moment that year.
Oh, really? How so?
So I had Metroid Dread on my Christmas list, basically. My birthday/Christmas list because they're close enough together.
Okay.
And it's like it was a game I was looking forward to all year, and then birthday Christmas time comes around. The one video game I get, it's a Switch game from my mother, and it's Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. So that was my Lee Carvella putting challenge game of that year.
That game doesn't even exist anymore, right? I got shut down.
The first one doesn't. The second one's still around. I still had fun with it, all told.
Oh, I'm thinking of the
no.
DC
Oh, you're thinking
one
Multiverses.
Like,
yeah, that one's
Multiverses. That's the one I'm thinking of.
No, the Nickelodeon one. That one's still floating around somewhere. It's like I still had fun with it, but it's like that was not the game I wanted. So eventually, after Christmas, I just bought it, and it's like, okay, it's the not my favorite Metroid, but it's my favorite interpretation of Samus.
Okay,
because she is like in the in a time of all these like artificial girl bosses and all that, Samus is like the genuine article.
Yes. So I will go ahead and piggyback off that because normally when we do these topics, I look through because most of my gaming is on Xbox. So I go and look at all the Xbox games I've played on True Achievements and sort them by release year. And then I go look through whatever year we're talking about in 2021. So I wrote down a few from 2021. I was like, some of these games I liked, but I wouldn't really say they were my favorite. And I was like, let me go look through, Nintendo because I haven't really played much Nintendo. And I saw Metroid Dread. I'm like, oh, hands down, easy answer. That is also my answer for number one favorite game from 2021 was Metroid Dread because that is a great game. I think it's. I'll have to go and look at my Metroid ranking, but I think it's my second favorite 2D Metroid behind Zero Mission.
Oh, Zero Mission. Okay.
Yes, Dread is an excellent game, and since we're on the topic, I think we actually talked about this as one of our topics in a very recent episode of Party Chat, but I would love to get Super Metroid remastered to look and play like Metroid Dread, but it's still the original map with all the same abilities. It just looks better and runs smoother. So I would love to get a Metroid Dread facelift for Super Metroid.
Would the Shine Spark challenges be 11 out of 10 ridiculous?
You can keep literally the game exactly the same. You don't have to change anything. Just make it look better and Good. the movement smoother and stuff. So I don't remember any of the Shine Spark challenges in Super Metroid being that too crazy.
No,
I think the
Super's
worst
not bad, but Zero Mission has some ones I'm like, oh, there's no way, dude.
That's what I was just gonna say. Zero Mission has some crazy Shine Spark challenges. I have done them all. I think I did them on stream when I was going through Zero Mission on Metroidvania Monday. But yeah, Metroid Dread, easily my favorite game from 2021. So that was an excellent pick. It's just I almost missed it because I usually don't consider Nintendo games because I played so very few of them since basically the Wii days. So when we've gotten into the more recent games, I don't even think about Nintendo because I haven't really played almost any of them. So
well, you should, sir.
Just kidding. I'm going back and I'm playing a lot of my old stuff again for retro achievements. So shout out to Dude for getting me hooked on a retro achievement so I can go play all my old Nintendo games and breathe new life into them with achievements. So all right, now that we've all given our favorite, we can go ahead and talk about any others that came out in 2021 that you were a big fan of. I'll go ahead and start off. Basically, the other one that I would probably put at the top of my list, but it's kind of a cheat answer since it is a remaster and I haven't actually played it yet. But Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out in 2021, so that would probably be my number one. I just haven't played it yet, so I couldn't honestly say that. And it would be a cheat answer because it's not a new game. So other games that came out in 2021 that were newly released that year and I was a big fan of, not a whole lot, but the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game came out in 2021, and that was actually really good. It's just, I think it kind of got overshadowed by the failure that was the Avengers game.
I forgot about the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy game was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I didn't like is that some of my achievements glitch, and I still don't have all the achievements, even though I've met all the requirements, because I've got the achievement for beating the game, but I don't have the achievements for like completing chapters 14 and 15. And I played the game twice, and it still didn't unlock on the second playthrough. So that's the only gripe I have with that game is some of the achievements were glitched. But overall, it was a really enjoyable game and it was fun. And the other one that I love it. I don't like it as much as the previous game in the franchise, but I do still love the game is Subnautica Below Zero. Love that game a lot. I've played it numerous times. I just haven't played as many as the first one because I do like the first one better, but it is still a great game. So those are all the other games from 2021 that I was a fan of. But Ryan, what about you? Were there other games from 2021 that you enjoyed?
Well, I definitely have to put the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on that list because I'm playing through it now and I'm having a blast. And yes, Nightmare can send you the mod list that he sent me on Discord, which I do greatly appreciate.
Oh, well, sorry. I'm playing on Xbox, so mods aren't going to matter.
Well, that's no fun.
But maybe I'll buy it on Steam and play it modded at some point.
Are you being a sad bear?
No, because
I'm just giving you shit.
Well, if a game exists on Xbox, that's where I play it because I like the gamer score because that's where all of my game history essentially is. So
he gets so sad about it. Do you hear me? It's like, well, I mean, I was
that is the predicament of being an achievement hunter on Xbox is sometimes you get better experiences on PC, but
I am not an achievement chaser. I give a shout out to anybody who does, and Neo is one of them. So it also makes him a little psycho.
Yeah, Nightmare's like Neo is too locked into Xbox. That is true, to my own detriment at points. But since I will buy games on Steam that I really, really love. So I will probably end up picking up the Legendary Edition on Steam at some point as well, just because how much I love Mass Effect. So go ahead and continue, Ryan.
Oh no, that was it. I just wanted to call you a sad bear.
So again, just Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That is a great one, though. All right. And Cherrick, was there any others from 2021 that you were a fan of?
The only one that I can think of that I played and liked was Crash Bandicoot 4.
Okay.
Despite the vanilla of it just having way too many collectibles.
We're just talking about Crash just within the last few days.
We were, yeah.
Was that what we were talking about on our stream or on our recording?
Yes.
Okay, that's where it was.
So
Okay, I just talked about Crash just recently. I forgot it was with you.
a little bit of a teaser with the video that's going to come out soon. We talk about Crash Bandicoot 4 and how on Steam it's tolerable because there's a quality of life mod that takes away a lot of the superfluous collectibles and puts the boxes in places that make a little more sense.
So
Because every single state, I swear to God, you say there's like 400 boxes and you can scour or scrutinize the entire stage front to back. You'll always end up with $3.99.
So all right. Any others in addition to Crash 4?
From 2021, none that I can think of offhand.
Okay. All right. And yeah, I touched on my others that I really enjoyed. So before we wrap up here, just a couple more things from chat. Angry Canadian says, talking about the Dino Crisis remake, says, actually, it wasn't done by Capcom. The GOG crew were the ones that rebuilt it for modern PC platforms. Capcom, of course, has to take credit for it because big company. Same thing happened with the Resident Evil trilogy coming to GOG and now Steam. Yeah, and Nightmare says, yeah, GOG never gets enough credit for being awesome because they also got Alpha Protocol back. So shout out to GOG.
I do love me some GOG, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because again, GOG is the one that has the Fallout London expansion.
That's right.
Fallout 4. I think Fallout London is drastically better than the actual Fallout 4 game.
I remember you were playing it and you were saying how good it was.
Oh no, yeah, no, I need to pick it back up. I just I mean, I got sidetracked with things, so I mean, but I definitely will play that again. I will play that before I will play Fallout 4. Seriously, not even a joke.
Yeah, it sounds everything that I've heard about London sounds excellent. So both from you and other sources. So Nightmare, yeah, he's saying that Multiverses is the WB Cartoon Network. He's talking Nickelodeon when I was thinking Multiverses, not the Nickelodeon one that you were talking about. And Crazy Landlow's here. What's up, Crazy Landlow? Saying that his favorite game from 2021, also Metroid Dread. Excellent choice. Is probably that for me. I would have said Halo Infinite, but that didn't last very long. I haven't played Infinite yet, so I can't say. But I will be playing it soon-ish. And lastly, Nightmare says he thinks his favorite game from 2021 was Tales of Arise. So, all right. Well, that will wrap it up for tonight's party chat. So, Cherrick, great having you back again, man.
Great talking to you guys again.
Been a long time. Good to see you making a return. So,
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Giving Neo crap.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry.
So,
you're good guys. You're good guys.
So everyone's links should be in the stream description, but I will be dropping them in chat as well. So, Cherrick, is there anything that you want to let us know that you got going on your Phoenix Rise from the Ashes and the return to this space?
Yes, so I'm coming back after dying in 2024. So I'm coming back with Goes Nowhere, Does Nothing. If anybody remembers from 2023, 2024, under new old management. So Nerdy Neo is my first guest. We get real passionate about stuff. It's going to be that. And then I have another show cooking in my noodle where I want to show off like upcoming games through demos and trailers. Okay. So like the cool like indie projects you might see pop up on Twitter. I'm fascinated by a lot of those and I want to give them kind of a highlight because they do usually end up being some good stuff. Cool. And you'll be able to find all that on Seeks Out, on YouTube, Rumble, basically every like major platform.
Yeah, so I just dropped the link to your channel, although there's nothing there yet. But I am assuming that is about to change, correct? Unless I have the wrong channel.
You might have the wrong channel, but that's okay.
It's got your logo, and it says seeksout.com.
Does it?
Yeah. There's no videos.
I need to brush up on my branding. That might be correct, but
never mind. The homepage didn't have anything, but I went to the videos tab, and there was some stuff. Like there's our Mega Man race with you, me, and DJ.
Oh, that's still there. Awesome. Yeah, go check that out.
So. But yeah, great having you back, man. Love chatting with you. Had a lot of fun recording with you the other day. That was great. So look forward to seeing that once you publish that.
Hopefully early May, but I just need to get my happy butt into editing.
So, well, thanks for coming on Party Chat. As always, had a great time chatting with you. So, Ryan, what do you want to let people know that you got going on over on your channel?
Well, tomorrow I'm actually probably going to pick up with again Mass Effect because I'm clinching close to the end of the game. So I'll probably actually do that tomorrow and Thursday. And then once I finish Mass Effect 1, I will do Doom 3. I need to make sure my controller works because I played Doom 3, yes, on the computer when it was just mouse and keyboard. Wasn't my favorite. I'd rather play with the controller. But if I have to, I will bear through that. Or I might shift gears and just play BioShock Remastered because I love BioShock too. It's got a little bit of those horror aspects and it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of screwed up. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm hoping for Doom 3. So, and then on next Tuesday, I should be on with Iron Oxide. We're going to be talking about a World War II movie. I can't remember which one. But having a chat panel about that show. But just I'm going to continue doing gaming stuff because I'm really enjoying it and it's a lot of fun. And I've really missed doing that. And it's been now that I have my computer back, thank you, Jesus. It works. It hasn't had a problem yet. Knock on wood. And I just want to continue gaming because it's what I really enjoy doing, and I've really missed doing it. So, always a pleasure being here, especially when we're making fun of Neil for being I'm just kidding, dude.
All right. He just sent me the corrected link that because he does have a new channel, so I just dropped that in chat, and I'll update that on the stream description after the fact. So, thank you for sending that to me there, Chair.
Yeah, no problem.
So, the correct channel there that does not actually have his current avatar on stream. The channel that I post initially has that one. That's not the right one. The one that has SO in all colorful. That's the correct one. So
also, it was good being back on a panel with you, man. It's been a lot of fun, especially when you did the Cartman voice and you said the F word.
Oh yeah,
that impression was spot on.
Oh, it really was. But Neil's butthole probably clenched so hard with that.
Yeah, just me screaming the F word as loud as I could.
So, all right. Ryan, if I wasn't streaming myself tomorrow night, I'd probably be watching you. Or, well, it depends on what time you're streaming, Mass Effect. I will attempt to be there for some of it, depending on what time it is.
It'll be earlier.
Okay.
So you're on the West Coast. I'll probably start somewhere in the neighborhood of noon your time, 1 p.m. my time, roughly.
Okay.
I might try to start earlier. So,
well, if I'm able to, I'll hop in and watch some because I will be streaming in the morning and then in the evening. But I'll get to that in just a moment. And Cherrick, dude says that depending on the game, that he might be interested in a race if you're potentially going to do more of those video game races.
Oh yeah, totally. I can start that back up too.
He did say in chat he might be interested in a race. So
hit me up.
That Mega Man X. Well, we were originally only going to do Mega Man 2, and I had only played Mega Man 2 once, like 6-7 years ago. And Cherrick and DJ Axis are both like experts at this game, so they're halfway done with the game, and I'm still remapping my controls because it was all messed up.
He got me back when we went through Mega Man X, and the version I was playing kept resetting after Storm Eagle.
That's right. You got screwed on that. But after we did the Mega Man 2 one, I was like, I don't know Mega Man 2 very well, but I know Mega Man X. So we just, on the fly, did a Mega Man X race immediately following that. And DJ and I were like neck and neck. He did beat me by just a tiny bit, but we were neck and neck. And Cherrick got screwed over because it kept resetting on him and he couldn't progress.
At that point, I'm just sitting back watching the Bow Spider fights play out.
Yep. Which is my most hated boss in that entire game. I hate Bow Spider.
That's clipped somewhere. I know it.
I'm pretty sure it was. So, anyways, as for me, tomorrow I will be continuing in the morning. Satisfactory, where Lowest Expectations and I have been playing through Satisfactory. And then tomorrow evening, I will be continuing Retro Rewind, where I continue playing through GoldenEye, which I had a lot of fun playing through that last Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to getting through more of GoldenEye tomorrow night because that has been great revisiting that.
What time?
The plan is 6:30 Pacific.
So 7:30 my time. Oh yeah, I'll be well done with Mass Effect by then. So yeah, I'm gonna watch and we're gonna have fun.
So
I'll be in your chat.
We got through, I got through the frigate level last week. So I'll be picking up right after the frigate level, whichever one is the next one after that. I want to say is it Surface 2? I don't remember, but
I think it's I know what it's called too. It's the bunker part 2. But the thing is though is that it's a lot more.
There's like sets of levels because there's like surface and then there's bunker. So you do both of those twice. So you
yes,
do
you do.
One, bunker 1, surface 2, bunker 2.
You're right. You're right. It is surface 2.
So,
you're gonna have a lot of fun with that one.
So
if you trigger an alarm, dude, they're gonna be so far up. Oh,
I actually just beat it off stream. I've been playing the Xbox version, as I mentioned earlier, like one level a day, and actually just finished the campaign just on Agent though, on the Xbox version just earlier today. But last week or whatever, whenever I was on Surface 2, like I start the level and enemies are just sprinting for me and start shooting at me, even though I haven't been detected. I'm still in the starting area. There's no enemies around. I haven't fired a shot. It's like they already know exactly where I am. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Okay, that sounds like a bug because
it did it on multiple times, but maybe that's just the Xbox version. Maybe that doesn't happen.
The Surface level 2 is at the dark with the radar dish.
Yes.
If you don't use stealth, you don't use chopping their neck and stuff like that, hand to hand, or a silenced weapon, then they're going to be on you like white on rice, and you'll just hear the alarm. You're going to hear that alarm so many times.
So I'll be continuing GoldenEye tomorrow night, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Thursday night's open mic will be with Lord Slosh. So that'll be the first time we get to chat like one-on-one. So that'll be fun. So depending on what we talk about, maybe it would make sense for you and Slosh to talk, Ryan, based on what Nightmare says. So, and then we'll be doing another Chatisfactory with Lowest on Friday. So that's and next Monday will not be Metroidvania Monday. Next Monday will be Mass Effect Monday, and I've got a full party, so that's gonna be a lot of fun doing some Mass Effect multiplayer, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for next Monday. So so that's what the upcoming week looks like here on my channel. So thank you guys for joining me for another party chat. Had a great time. Everyone in chat, thanks for showing up. Hope you all have a good evening, and we will see you later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.
See ya.
Oh.